Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Battleground Games Live.
Hello. Hi.
We are in the loft at Battleground Games and Hobbies in Abington, Massachusetts, a Boston area board and card game and miniature game store where you can purchase and play games.
Board gaming, card gaming,
And
board gaming.
every week we play games on stream.
Yep.
So welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome,
I am Andrew.
everybody.
Hi there. And with me today I have...
Hey everybody, it's John Toomey. You can find me at the Disgruntled GM Podcast at disgruntledgmpodcast.com. We're also on iTunes.
And Amanda.
I'm Amanda, and I'm usually here. I'm not going to be playing tonight. I'm going to be the table friend. I'm also going to be keeping an eye on the chat. So if you're in the chat, say hi. If you feel comfortable, you don't have to. It's cool. We're chill.
Whatever you want to do.
And yeah, I'm going to be watching these two guys struggle with
In the
Twilight.
That's
I
right.
did
The
threaten to
sparkly
bring
vampires.
glitter tonight, which would have been amazing.
I was going to ask Andrew, Jacob or Edward?
Yeah, I think probably Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob.
Werewolves are 100% better than vampires, right?
Especially like morose, morose vampires that like stay in high school.
I've only
Yeah, that's the weird thing.
God,
Anyways.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So yeah, before we start, I want to quickly thank some new followers.
Yeah.
Because we have a whole bunch of followers who joined us in the time since our last stream. During the Board Game of the Month stream, which was awesome, by the way.
RPG of the month.
RPG of the Month, which was,
It was
the Fate
amazing.
core system. If you listen to our podcast, there's a link to our podcast down below. You can hear Amanda going on about the Fate core system.
Yeah. So just quickly, we played a one-shot using the Camelot trigger setting for the Fate core system. And it was amazing. It is Arthurian mythos in space with mechs. And it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And Sam is a great GM. I had never gotten a chance to play in a game with him running it, but I had always wanted to because I knew he was an awesome GM. Getting to play with him was fantastic. And the whole crew, all the other players, the other three players, were all super, super fun to play with. Everyone's characters were really interesting. So, yeah. So that was really cool. Unfortunately, the video of it, our sound quality drops towards the end of it. But
Yeah.
if you are interested in seeing how the Fate core system works and how the Camelot trigger setting runs, please do take a look at it. The VOD should be available right now, and we will. Is the video up on you?
No, it's not on YouTube yet because
Okay.
I do have to repair the audio
Okay.
issues. I have to
We'll
work
do
on some
what
of
we
that stuff.
can. We learned an important lesson about our wireless mics, which is their battery life. We now have a fairly good idea of how long that is,
Yeah.
judging by when the batteries ran out. So yeah, we did have to do a hot swap with
That was
a couple
exciting.
of that was super fun. We did have to do a hot swap at one point, switching out some batteries. But yeah, when we got towards the end of the game, we just sort of let it go. And that's, we had some sync issues, but please
Yeah, we're
do
still
take
having
a look.
sync issues. I encourage anybody who's in chat to tell us,
Please
if
tell
the
us
sync is way off.
if the sound
I
gets
think I might
weird.
need to stop the stream for just a second and bring it right
Oh.
back up and see if that fixes the sync thing.
We'll be right back.
That was
Hello.
quick. I just wanted to,
We played a whole game in your absence.
in
we
the
also watched
couple
an
of seconds
advertisement.
there.
Oh, great. Yeah, now I have another ad.
Oh, sorry, Amanda.
Okay.
While you're watching that ad, I want to thank some of our new subscribers, or not
Yes.
subscribers, some of our new followers.
Yes.
We don't have any new subscribers right now. We have our regular old subscribers.
If
Thank you,
anyone
subscribers.
wants to sub, you
You're
may.
welcome.
You get the fabulous Battleground logo.
Yep.
Raise those
I
shields.
can't do it, so.
Anyhow, during the Extra Life Marathon, why am I talking about the Extra Life Marathon? During the...
Guess what? We're doing it again.
It's coming.
coming in
We're
November.
going to be doing that again.
We're going to be playing games for 25 hours. It's going to be amazing and exhausting.
Yeah. During the RPG of the month,
Yeah.
we did get some new followers. I want to thank Alpha, with a double A-H, Alpha, who was very vocal in the chat. We got Me-Ob. That's an underscore. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Me-Ob.
You have to wait for an underscore. 'Cause it's an intentional
I'm
space.
really happy that we're being followed by so many waffles. I'm a big fan of waffles, so
If you
thank
watch,
waffles.
so
for
there's
following
our
us.
connection to the extra life stream. Is
Oh.
that we'll be making waffles during the extra life stream because we do that every year. It's a
Yes,
tradition.
it is a tradition. We're being
Yes, it is
followed
tradition.
by Anax Anomaly. So thank you, Anax Anomaly, for the follow. We're being followed by Captain Bakaneko.
Bakaneko.
Bakane.
Captain Bakaneko. So yeah,
Thank
whole
you.
bunch of folks following us. Thank you very much, and
you for
I
following.
hope you enjoy our various streams. For today, we are going to be playing Twilight Struggle.
Yep.
This is something that some folks warned me might be difficult to just dive into. Okay, so for our new followers, what this stream is about. This stream is not about people who know how to play a game and are giving you advice on how to play it.
Really?
Yeah.
We make mistakes.
We make
Usually.
mistakes. We are almost always learning to play a new board game every Friday. So we...
Yeah, we are rarely playing something that we're experienced with.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Twilight Struggle is a game that I have been warned is complex.
Boy.
It sure does have a map of the world.
Well, okay, let's look at the map of the world.
Map of the world.
Here we are. This is a battle for dominance in which the USA, played by John,
America.
and the USER, played by me, are battling for dominance in the world. It looks more complicated than I believe it is.
Yes.
I think it has a reputation for being really inaccessible, but it is not.
It's a
Of course,
crunchy
I haven't
game.
played it.
It is a crunchy game from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But
The basic mechanics are fairly simple. The problem is, it is a game all about corner cases. There's you do things, and there's very simple ways that things happen, but there's a lot of times when it tells you now something happens unless it doesn't. So yeah, we'll get into it. The very simplest thing to understand is that we are attempting to take over various territories.
yes.
There is Europe, which includes Canada for game purposes.
Yepper.
There's the Middle East. There's Africa. There's Central and South America. That's the Americas are a single territory. And there's Asia,
And
They're
Australia.
slightly different
which includes
colored.
Australia for game purposes.
They're two different.
Yeah, they're slightly different. So during the game, we are going to be playing cards that give us victory points, and I'm going to go to the Zoom
Excuse
cam.
me.
Oh, and we have back the Zoom cam from
yay.
last week.
Yes,
Zoom cam.
we retrieved our cameras from Norton after our
Yeah.
stream.
So yes.
So during the game, we're going to have cards like these that get played. These are scoring cards. They're very easy to recognize because they don't have a picture on them. They've got all this bright yellow text. They have red text at the bottom.
Okay.
Scoring cards score points for people who control a territory or a region.
So if you control Asia, or
Correct.
the region of Asia,
Right.
you will score set amount of points.
Right. So if you have a presence in Asia, you get 3 victory points. If you have domination, and we'll cover what domination is, you get 7 points.
Okay.
If you control it entirely,
Yep.
you get 9 points.
Okay.
And plus per controlled battleground country, plus countries controlled that is adjacent to enemy superpower.
Huh.
So this is the victory tracker here.
Yes, it feels like it's
It
going to be like
moves
a...
back and forth. It's a tug
Yeah.
of war. So if you gain victory points, it goes this way. If I gain victory points, it goes that way. And wraps
Gotcha.
around like this.
Ergo, it's a literal Twilight Struggle.
It's a struggle, yeah. So, oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong screen. So here we are, stream. This is what I was talking about with the victory point tracker. If it moves this way for the USA gaining points, it moves this way for Russia gaining points. If either of us
Get 20.
gets to 20, we win.
Good.
That's the end of the game.
Good.
Another way the game can end is through DEFCON. At various points in the game, the DEFCON status will go down. If it ever reaches 1,
Launch
nuclear
the
war
nukes.
happens, and whomever's active turn it is at that moment loses the game, technically.
For the stream, though.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, if nuclear war happens, we both lose.
That's fair.
The world is gone. I don't want to be,
In
smartest
my
man on the
headcanon-
cinder.
In my headcanon, this will lead to Wasteland Express.
Ooh, yeah, totally.
That'll be fun.
Okay. So that's one way the game can end. One way is by here. The other way, and this is probably less likely to happen, is that we get to turn 10. There's a
And
turn counter here.
Whoever gets the highest points wins.
Well, when we finish turn 10,
Yep.
we score every territory.
Oh, God.
So somebody
Okay.
might get to 20 points and just automatically win.
Okay. And then
Somebody
someone
might
pull it
not.
Back.
Yeah.
Who scores first?
There's rules for that. I doubt we'll make it to turn 10. If we get to turn 10, we'll figure that out.
We get to turn 10. We'll see.
I somewhat suspect the game will end before then.
Okay. Nuclear.
So, influence. You will note that all these little countries have 2 spaces in them, one on the left, one on the right.
And they fit within them these little chips.
Yes, and they actually go in white side up.
Oh, so they're double-sided.
Afghanistan. If this was the case, Afghanistan has 1 influence for the USA, 1 influence for the USSR. It has a turning point of 2. So if the USSR has 3, it is 2 higher than the USA,
So you have the
and
presence.
it then controls that territory. It controls that country.
And if, in this case, US has 5, the US controls that territory.
Correct.
The difference is designated by the area, I
Right.
assume? Okay.
Yep. So different areas require different differences. You will note that some areas have a blue name.
Yeah.
Those are battleground areas.
Very
Battlegrounds
nice.
are a special case for coups. There's 2 ways you can gain influence over a territory. You can gain influence by just slowly gaining influence, by just putting, influence points on a territory.
Okay.
You can also gain influence by calling for a coup in that territory. Then you get to roll the coup die,
We each have 1.
Yep.
A blue and a red.
add influence adjusters to it. If you succeed in your coup, your influence goes up by that number, or actually your opponent's influence goes down by that number.
Oh.
If they are wiped out of the territory, yours goes up by the remainder.
Okay.
So that's a way that you can instantly take over a territory. In most cases, that's a great thing to do. In battlegrounds, if you do a coup, DEFCON goes down,
Oh my God!
and we get closer to
Whether or not
nuclear
you
Armageddon.
succeed of the coup, or do you have
Correct.
to just succeed
Nope,
the coup?
nope. Regardless of whether you succeed or fail,
no.
the world gets closer to nuclear annihilation if you do a coup in a battleground. So remember that.
Okay.
All right. Also,
Now, what I was talking about earlier, where I was saying things happen unless they don't,
yes.
that's the deck.
Uh-huh.
There's 3 decks. You start in the early war, where
Yep.
you have 6 actions per turn.
With presidents
Per
and
round?
dictators. And
Yeah, so the illustration shows you the turns by the president during that era. So the early war is up through Eisenhower, and then the mid-war is up through Nixon, and then the late war.
Gorbachev?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gorbachev.
So we have a turn marker,
Yep.
and it'll move up the rank as we go. It is. There's 3 decks of cards, and we start with the early war deck. When we get to the mid-war, we
swap
shuffle
out.
the mid-war deck into the deck,
Oh,
and when we get to the late war, we shuffle that deck in.
okay.
So that's where the cards come from. We already covered scoring cards.
We did.
I realize this is a lot of info before we start, but I feel like this is important to understand, and we'll just start playing and you'll get it quickly.
For viewers at home, there was
Yeah.
available to me a 1-hour-long how to play video.
Yeah, we're going
was
to do this
like-
in a lot less than an hour. I'm almost
No.
done
Yeah.
explaining the mechanics of the game.
No, yeah.
I mean, we'll cover the space race track as we go.
Yeah.
We'll cover military action operations as we go.
Okay.
So we covered scoring cards. I'm going to go to Zoom Cam again. Here we are in Zoom Cam.
Okay.
We covered scoring cards, which look like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have they're the way you get points.
Yep.
There are also operation or just regular cards.
Duck and cover.
Yeah, regular cards have a name that doesn't really matter. They have an effect, and they have a score.
Okay.
So if they have a blue or a white score, it's your card. If they
And
have
it's
a
a
red
red
one,
or, yeah,
they're mine.
Okay.
Both of us can play them. Like when we shuffle this deck up, you're going to sometimes, and there are cards that are both, that have a slash.
Okay, and
like
these
the
represent
scoring
events
cards.
in history, right?
Yeah. So you can spread influence by just using one of those cards.
Yeah.
I'm using a 3-point card, so I spread 3 influence, and it has to be, amongst territories that are adjacent to each other.
Okay.
But there are also event cards.
Ooh.
So if you're using one of these for your purposes to increase your influence or to call a coup or something like that, or to affect the space race, and it's your card, so if I played this, it would have just that effect.
Okay.
If you play it,
Yes.
so if you tried to use socialist governments
That you have.
to add influence, the effect on the card takes place,
Okay.
in addition to you getting those points. That's where the unless it doesn't happens, because there's a lot of cards that have prerequisites, so something has to have already happened. The card does not take effect if the prerequisites haven't been met.
So we have to follow a timeline, essentially?
Sort of.
Oh, my.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
No, I think it'll be good.
2 more types of cards.
I'm just wondering if we're going to mess up history and cause paradoxes.
Yes, then we have to flip the board over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and start over.
Then we use an action card to reverse history.
We've played a lot of Chrononauts.
We've
Yeah.
played an enormous amount of Chrononauts.
Some of the event cards have an asterisk and red text at the bottom.
Okay.
When those event cards take place, they are removed from the game
Remove from play.
instead of going into the discard pile.
Okay.
Some action cards, and I'm
I would
looking
assume
for
because
one.
the discard pile can be shuffled back.
Yes, exactly.
into a
The discard
deck, but
pile comes
certain
back
things
in, but
only
those,
happen
those only
once.
happen once. Some action cards are underlined. Underlined action cards get removed from play, but cause a permanent change to the board.
Which are these stars? I
Yes,
assume,
which
correct?
are those. So, Warsaw Pact formed. Remove all U.S. influence from 4 countries in Eastern Europe, or add 5 USSR influence in Eastern Europe, adding no more than 2 per country, allows play of NATO. And then you remove it from play, and NATO is possible to be played
And
once the
NATO
Warsaw Pact is formed. So we have these little things, and we can just put it on the turn track to remember that the Warsaw Pact came
Okay,
into effect.
And NATO was on
Yeah.
effect, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So that's the cards. That's pretty much that.
What's our opening hand?
We're going to start with 8 cards in hand, and there is
Ooh.
one other little trick. So let's do setup.
Okay.
We've done most of the setup already.
I noticed that on a lot of these areas,
What did I just do with the China card? There we are.
there are a lot of these numbers
There's
already
one
listed.
special card, the China card, and we'll cover that in a little while.
China. Yes, sorry. So I noticed there's like these little numbers here that seem to be the same as our influence cards, somewhat. Like 1,
Yep,
1.
that's starting influence.
Okay.
So that's where we're going to be putting influence at the beginning during the setup. I'm just going to shuffle up the early war deck here.
So 1 in Panama, 2 in Kenyatta.
Kenyatta, technically part of Europe in this game.
5 in the UK.
You've got a lot of influence in the UK.
Yeah, they are my allies, I guess.
Turn
You got Eastern
Canada
Germany.
over. You actually do control the UK right now, but
Okay.
you don't control Canada.
Same with Panama. Let me see.
Yeah, so controlling a country. Each country map is considered controlled by a player if two things are true. The player has influence points greater than or equal to the country's stability number,
So that one's
And-
5, yeah.
the player's influence in the country exceeds their opponent's by that number.
1. Oh,
Yep.
backwards, sorry. And the Aussies are my ally.
Yes.
And
Correctamundo. Okay.
South Africa.
One thing I did not cover yet, which we'll get to at the end of the turn, is military operations.
Okay.
You are required to do a certain number of military things because if you don't, you lose victory points
Oh my.
at the end of the round. So we'll cover that in a couple of seconds. Okay, game setup. Shuffle the early war cards and deal each player 8 cards.
Do you still need to lay out spots
Yes.
for yourself? Okay.
There you go.
8 cards.
Um,
That's all.
The USSR player sets up first, not that it matters. Get 15 influence markers in the following locations. 1 in Syria. Iraq, Syria. Here we are. This is going to prove that I know nothing about geography or history.
That's fair. I mean, there's no like tell-all.
1 in Iraq.
Iraq's right next
Yep.
to. You've got 3 in East Germany. So you control East,
Germany.
You have 1 in Finland.
Finlandia.
Is that it?
Well, okay.
Hold on.
So 1 in Syria, 1 in Iraq,
Oh.
3 in North
3
Korea.
in North Korea. You control North Korea.
That's handy.
And I think that's all, right?
Well, no, because I
Oh.
get 15 influence points. 3 in East Germany, 1 in Finland, and 6 anywhere in Eastern Europe. So
Oh,
I get to choose the
Oh, I
other
also-
6 that I get to place.
I have 7 in Eastern Europe. 3, and 1.
So this is, I place first.
Okay.
So I'm going to,
Is that
Eastern
why
Europe is the light purple,
Is that why I have 7? Because you placed first.
I guess.
Okay. That's interesting.
I just start with less influence, maybe, I don't know.
Seems like it.
Who do I want to control, or do I want to just spread myself thin? I don't really know what the strategy is. So I'm going
This
to
is the
put
trick when we play a game
2 in
on
Romania.
streams that we're frequently playing for
I'm
the
going to
first
put
time.
2 in
We don't know
Poland.
strategies. That's why Wasteland Express was really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I have fun playing a
put-
game for the very first time, but that's, I think, why the Wasteland Express stream went
1
as
in
smoothly as it did.
Czechoslovakia.
Is because we all
and
had a strategy in mind that
one
we were
in
going to run for because we had
Bulgaria.
played the game before.
We were executing our
All right,
plans.
so I don't
Yeah.
actually control any of those countries. Now you can place in East Germany or Western Europe. Yeah.
Yep. Bam, bam. And I'll put 1 in Spain. I'm going to make a little chain over
Okay.
here. Okay, so who starts?
So you
the-
set up second, and then place the U.S. and USSR space markers on the left of the space race track.
Uh-huh. Who starts the
Each
round?
player places their military OP on the 0.
0-0.
Hey, DG Dell, how's it going?
And
Good to see you there.
turn
We still do
marker
not
on
have
the
chat
first
up on the
space of
big
the
screen,
turn
so
record. Oh, turn marker on the first space of the turn.
I was looking at some.
DEFCON at 5. We did that.
While they made their initial
And-
placements.
Place the victory point marker at 0. Okay, we're set up. Now,
Oh, sorry.
I start with the China card, which
Guys.
is that special card that I was mentioning earlier.
China?
DG
China.
Dell is watching if you'd like to say hi.
Hi, DG Dell. Welcome. Good to see you.
How's it going?
We've
going
never
okay?
played Twilight Struggle, but we'll figure it out.
Oh no, buddy. Your AC is out?
Oh no.
Stinks.
I mean, I hope
am
you're
so
coastal.
sorry. It's like 90 degrees there. Yeah, it was around 90 here today.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the store's AC is up and running, but guess what Andy and I haven't put in our window?
Yeah. Yeah.
AC.
So I start with the China card. It is
So that's gonna
effectively
be
in
great.
my hand, but so I can use it to gain influence. You'll note that the China card has a split on it.
Yeah.
So either side can use it to gain influence.
The fan was blowing hot air into our bedroom.
When I use the China card, I get +1 operations value when points are applied or used in Asia, and
probably
then
not
you
the only
get the
person who
China
does
card.
Okay. And Asia's all of the orange.
Yes, all of the orange.
Okay.
So he says he went to
So
the movies
when I
today for
use
the
it,
AC.
I give it to you flipped over. At the end of the turn, it flips over and it's in your hand, and you can use it. At the end of the game, if we make it to turn 10, it's worth 10
Tiebreaker?
victory points.
Oh my God.
So the person who has influence in China at the end of the game,
Wins.
yes. There is a alternate rule set that uses the Chinese Civil War. We're not
Okay.
doing that.
So only player Soviet. What does that mean? Oh, yeah, that's the Civil War thing. Never
Yeah,
mind.
that's the exactly.
All right, let's. Yeah.
So I have the China card.
you
Before we start,
Cool, I've heard mixed reviews there. So I'm glad you liked it.
2 things to remember. We are
Incredibles
going
2.
to be playing 7 turns, which means that at the end of the round,
Yes.
we will have 1 card left in our hand, unless something caused us to discard or somebody stole a card.
So this is it.
So 1 card, yes.
This
and
is all we have for the game.
for this round,
for the round.
and then we draw back up to 8 for the next round.
Okay.
So actually, I think we play 6 cards.
Okay.
Anyways,
Sorry, I have had a very long day, so I'm going to be yawning into my mic all
Yeah.
evening.
do that.
I get that same feeling.
So there's 6 action rounds in the turn and 1 headline phase. So yes, we're going to use 7 cards from our 8 cards in our hand.
Okay.
The last card in our hand may not be a scoring card. That's why the scoring cards say in big red letters at the bottom that they cannot be held at the end of the round.
Yep.
They must be played if you have them in your hand, which means your strategy is obviously going to be, if you have a scoring card, figure out how you can score the most points when you play that card. Of course, conversely, my strategy, if I see you trying to take over a territory thinking that you might have the scoring card,
Yeah.
is try to get my influence raised there.
That makes sense. And
So,
scoring cards are the only way we're scoring points in the game, right? Currently.
right.
Okay.
I mean, there's various... Oh, I didn't mention events. So there's several ways you can use the cards in your hand, right? You can use them to place influence in a territory. You can use them to call coup. You can use them to increase the space race track,
Okay.
which would flip your space race token to indicate that you've used it for that round,
Okay.
and allows you to move it down the thing, giving you various benefits. And you can also use them as actions, which means you get to do whatever it says on the card if you use it as an action.
Okay. So if I play a red card, as we had said before, you get the effect, right? Or the effect goes off, right?
Right. So if you use it to do influence or something else, I get the thing on it if it's got a red star.
If it has a blue star, all these give me are points.
Unless you use it as
At
the
the action.
action.
Okay.
Right, in which case you just discard it and
Got
do
it.
whatever it says on the card.
Got it.
But don't get any influence or anything from it.
All right.
So I have Okay, the headline phase. So this is the first part of every round. Each player secretly selects a card from their hand. Once you've both made their choice, they reveal their headline cards, and the events take place in this phase. And if the event has an asterisk, it is removed from the game, just like using an event normally.
Okay.
So, and then we determine which event takes place first based on the number in the upper left-hand corner.
So, like, the numbers, like, on top, like 11, 29, that sort of thing? Like that order? Or is it
in the
based
upper
on
left,
value?
the star.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So choose an event that's going to start the round.
Okay. Okay. Nope. This is hard. No.
So now I have not read any of these cards, so I have
Me
to.
neither. So
Yeah.
This is hard.
Okay. I have my headline selected. Select your headline.
This is so hard.
I know this is where all the strategy is going to come into play. And neither of us have ever played.
Yeah, so we have no idea. Ready?
Reveal simultaneously.
Bam.
I have the Cambridge 5.
I have the Romanian abdication.
Okay, so yours is a 1, mine is a 2.
All right.
So the one with the higher goes first, so the
Okay.
Cambridge 5 goes into effect. The U.S. player exposes all scoring cards in their hand. Do you have any scoring cards in your hand?
No.
Okay, I wasted that. And then may add 1 influence in any single region named on one of these scoring cards. But since you don't have any, you don't get anything extra.
Yes.
Cannot be played as an event in the late war. So that just goes in the discard pile.
Okay. Mine was Romanian abdication. Remove all U.S. Influence from Romania.
Well, you've got none.
Exactly. USSR gains sufficient influence in Romania for control.
Aha! So my influence in Romania goes up to 3,
Yep.
and I now control it. So you played one of my cards as your headline.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I now control Romania. Excellent.
Are we ready?
Yes, so turn action rounds. There are 6 action rounds.
So you start the action round because you have the higher number card, right?
Players alternate playing 1 card per action. The USSR always takes his or her action round first, followed by the US player. So I have less influence, but I always go first.
Oh.
Okay. So I am going to... Oh, I see how that one works. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to jump straight to calling coup
Oh my
because I feel
God.
like
Really?
we need to understand how this mechanic works.
Okay, where are you calling a coup, buddy?
All right.
But I'm doing 2 cards to do it.
Oh.
So I am playing NORAD. It's one of your event cards.
Okay, what do I get?
But I'm also playing UN Intervention.
Huh.
So UN Intervention is a 1-star card.
Okay.
Play it simultaneously with a card containing your opponent's associated event.
Oh.
The event is canceled, but you may use its operation value to conduct operations. The canceled event card can return to the discard pile, may not be played during the headline phase.
Okay.
So you don't actually get your NORAD event,
Oh.
and I have 3 operation available to me.
In which location?
That's a good question.
Does it matter?
So-
So if the card is blank, where does the I guess, does this define, I guess, where it goes?
I'm getting the 3 from this one.
Okay, yeah.
But you don't get the NORAD effect
influence,
because I used UN intervention
You get
to
a total
prevent
of
it.
4 because of that?
I think I only get 3.
Okay.
Play this. Oh no, I guess I do get 4 because
Okay.
I played both of them. So I have 4 influence.
So where is...
So I am going to I'm going to choose someplace that's relatively easy to
influence
with a coup. I'll try to take over,
Sweden for 4.
and I believe I can go anywhere.
Okay.
Need not have any influence in the target country or in an adjacent country to attempt a coup.
Wow.
Your opponent must have influence markers in that country for a coup to be attempted.
Oh.
I'm going to attempt coup. Oh, I don't want to do Iran or Israel because those are blue territories and would cause DEFCON to go up.
Yes. Do you want to try France? Oh, South Africa. No, that's got a coup territory. Panama.
Yeah.
The only one that I have is Belix? Is that how you pronounce it?
I think Spain. I'm going to attempt coup in
Oh,
Spain.
Spain, yes.
Okay, so you have influence there. I have none. It has a 2 as its stability number.
Yep.
So first, double its stability the stability number to 4. Then roll the die
Yep.
and add the operations points on the card to it. So I have 4 operations points.
Hey, Lobster of Revenge.
hey.
Yeah,
Hey,
in
Lobster of
Soviet
Revenge.
Russia, games play you.
2,
Thank you for the
6.
bits.
I have 6. 6 is more than 4,
Yep.
so you lose 2 influence.
So I'm down to 0.
0, and I gain 1. So that was a successful coup on my part. If I had rolled higher, I would have done better.
Okay.
And it was a military operation, so I go up in military operations number of spaces equal to the operations value of the cards played. So I get 4 military operations. That
Nice.
is excellent.
Wow.
So
What
to
happens when you get
reiterate,
5?
we need military operations. At the end of the turn, military operations. So by the end of the turn, each player must have played a certain number of military operations. Failure to do so results in a victory point penalty. The number of military operations is equal to the current DEFCON status number.
So 1.
So my current
Well, 5.
penalty would
Oh,
be,
5.
right, it is currently 5. If DEFCON does not go down, I will lose 1 victory point at the end of the round.
Okay.
That's the end of my first action. You want to flip that over to
My
blue?
action?
It is your action on the first.
Okay. I'm going to play the 5-year plan. The USSR player must randomly discard 1 card.
Oh man,
If
I
it's
already
a-
used an extra card.
It says randomly, so
Okay.
I don't know if that means I
You want to
gotta
just.
If it's a U.S. associated event, it immediately occurs.
Oh man.
Oh.
Okay. Uh oh.
But if it's a USSR card or an event applicable to both players, it just gets discarded.
All right. So choose the card I'm discarding.
Fizzles.
Bam. Oh,
Zip.
that one.
What did I discard?
U.S. Early War Containment. Any further operation cards played by the U.S. this turn, add 1 to their value for a maximum of 4.
Wow. Okay, and that's removed from the game.
Yep.
So you have. That was a excellent play on your part. Do you want to?
I don't get the star value though, right?
Right. Yeah. You just discard that because you used it as an operation.
So now I just need to get 4, I guess, right? I just need to get 4 to not get penalized by that card. For that card, I guess. I just need to read it again to make sure.
Any further operations played by the U.S. this turn, add 1 to their value.
Okay.
So if you play more operations, it's back to my turn.
Yep.
Okay.
So I took away actions, I assume, right? Because you have
Yeah.
less cards and you don't draw back up.
I'm going to play. Do I want? I want to check something.
Take your time.
So we did a coup. We've learned how that works.
Yes. So if you attempted a coup in the UK, you would need to get 10.
Yeah,
That's pretty crazy.
that would be hard.
That's pretty nasty.
If a player plays a card as an operation and the card's event is associated only with their opponent. Okay, good.
Okay.
So I'm going to do early war, but not as an event. The Red Scare Purge. I'm not doing it as an event,
You're just
so it's
taking
not
the
going to get the
influence,
event.
right.
I'm just taking the 4 influence, and I will spread some influence in countries. So spreading influence. Placing influence markers. 1 operation point per marker in a country that is friendly or friendly, controlled, or uncontrolled. 2 operation points to place 1 influence in an enemy territory. So this is uncontrolled, South Korea. It is adjacent to a country that I control, so I can place influence there. I have 4 influence from the Red Scare Purge.
Okay.
So I am going to place... I'm going to place 3 influence there. So now in South Korea I have 3 influence. Because I'm placing my influence here, adjacent to North Korea,
Okay.
I can't... You can only place influence from one territory to another, basically.
Okay.
So, may be placed in any country that is adjacent or connected to the controlling player's base. So the USSR is adjacent to North Korea, but not to
'cause
South Korea.
all that, yeah.
Yeah, it's the heavy black line.
Okay, so I could do Cuba, Mexico, and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Um,
that makes sense, I guess. I also do Japan apparently. I'm directly connected to Japan. So Hello Kitties for all.
oh, thank you for the follow.
Yes,
Commander Root, we appreciate the follow.
awesome name.
I realize that it's maybe not the most thrilling to watch us figure a game out,
yeah,
but this is the first time we've played it, and it is a very cool game.
it does have a lot of chunky bits, which is lovely. So I'm sorry, is that the end of your move?
No, so influence markers are placed 1 at a time. However, all markers must be placed with or adjacent to friendly markers that were placed at the start of the phasing player's action round. All right, so I actually have to put 1 influence in North Korea, so I'm going to bring that up
But you
to
already
4.
have. Is that something you need to do? Oh, so
But I
it
have to
trickles
place
down.
influence there
Yep.
before I can place influence here,
Okay.
because I have to have a friendly or controlled territory or a territory adjacent to the USSR
Okay.
before I can spread influence from it. So this is now still uncontrolled because South Korea has a
3 difference.
3.
So yeah.
I need 1 more there. But that was 4 influence. It is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna play East European Uprising. In the early to mid-war, remove 1 influence from 3 countries in Eastern Europe.
Oh, man.
Controlled by the USSR. So Finland, Czechoslovakia, and Bulgaria.
Man, my influence. Dag nabbit.
Dark place.
All right. Well, fine. I haven't played an operation yet.
It's now your action.
Yes, it is my action. I'm going to play Desalinization. USSR may relocate up to 4 influence points to non-US controlled countries. No more than 2 influence may be placed in the same country. That actually doesn't help me much. I'm not going to do that.
Okay. So just to be clear with operations, so how do I get more military operations exactly?
Coups.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, jeez.
There may be, there are cards that give you military operations
Okay.
as well, but it's primarily coups.
Huh. It's interesting.
4
4 of my cards will be removed from the game after this round. This is also, I guess we should mention, a very new game that we. Well, it's not
Yeah.
new as in like.
No, no.
It's a
this
new
is
copy.
newly opened.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. That I don't know if you
So-
guys can tell on the stream, but the board is warped because
Yeah.
it just came out of the box
Yeah.
and
It has
hasn't had a
not
chance
been
to
played
settle.
as of yet. Yeah.
We had to punch everything out today before we could play.
So yeah, I'm wondering if that might have led to. Yeah, I'm not saying anything, but there's like I feel like I got a lot of the same things in my hand.
Oh, I tried to
You know what I
shuffle it
mean?
well. I
Yeah.
shuffled a bunch.
But yeah,
Pa, 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 pa.
I have no idea. I'm excited though.
I'm gonna hold the Olympic Games.
As the USSR?
Yes.
Okay.
Player sponsors Olympics. Opponent may participate or boycott. If the opponent participates, each player rolls 1 die, with the sponsor adding 2 to their roll. Highest roll gains 2 victory points. Reroll ties. If the opponent boycotts, degrade DEFCON 1 level, and the sponsor may conduct operations as if they had played a 4-ops card. So do you want to degrade DEFCON, or do you want to roll off with me and I get 2 extra points on the roll and possibly earn 2 victory points?
I'm going to DEFCON.
You boycotted the Olympics.
I have boycotted the Olympics, sir.
The Russian Olympics are boycotted by the USA.
Yeah.
And now I can do a operation as if I had played 4-ops card.
So yeah, so I've noticed there's a lot of these cards too that are either one, right?
Yes, they're
So that's
split,
the thing,
so
yeah.
it could be either way. I am going to spread more influence in Asia, I believe. So I'm going to... I need... I can go from Korea... Oh no, it has to be a friendly.
A friendly.
Influence markers are placed one at a time. However, all markers must be placed with or adjacent to friendly markers that were placed at the start of the phase player's action round. If the amount of influence is sufficient to gain control. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. Unplayable unless... Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now.
I guess I was wrong about having to be adjacent. Influence markers
really?
May always be placed in any country that is adjacent to the phasing player's superpowers.
That is interesting.
So I can always place influence adjacent, but I can place anywhere. But then if I want to like risk spread, it has to go from that place that I started at. So I'm going to take my 4 influence, and I'm going to place 2 in Malaysia.
Are you going to start a...
Yeah, it's
and
super satisfying.
2
isn't
in
it,
Thailand.
Punching
Okay.
stuff out of it's the most
Thailand.
satisfying.
All right, I've spread
There were a
some
lot of
influence.
pieces to
That was the end of
put
my
on this
round. It is on to round 4.
No, round-
Just do
I
a
still
stream of
haven't-
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, yes,
unboxing
go ahead.
games and punching
Oh, wait, should we
pieces
be
out.
on doing it like bam?
That would be super
Bam.
fun.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we each
So-
get 1.
So this
Yeah,
is round
so
3 still. I believe.
turn 3 of round 1. Okay.
3 of round 1. Now, if you run out of cards, are you just out of actions?
Yes.
Oh, wow. All right. I think I have to use this. The Council of Mutual Economic Assistance. So this is one of your cards. Add 1 USSR influence in each of the 4 non-US controlled countries in Eastern Europe.
Okay.
So I don't know if this means I needed this to be in effect to take play, or does what it say
Oh, wait.
that? Did another card have to be played to play that, or no?
No, I believe that just happens.
Okay.
The Council for Mutual Economic Assistance is taking place. So you add 1 USSR influence in each of 4. So you get to choose the 4.
Okay.
Or actually, yeah, I guess you played it. So you get to choose the 4 territories in Eastern Europe.
Give me some
and
tokens.
oh no, it's not removed.
No, it's removed
It
from
is
the game.
removed from the game.
Yeah. Could I get 4 of those things?
Sure.
They're all going to be 1s.
Yes, I figured. Here's your 4 ones.
Thank you. I'll give you back Finland. Give you some Sweden. Oh no, Sweden's... Is Sweden in
Nope,
Sweden?
that's not Eastern Europe.
Oh, sorry. Give you Czechia, Hungary.
You just took one out of Czechoslovakia.
I know, and Austria. I feel like I've, I don't know. This is interesting.
Eastern Europe is
Now I have 3
my
though.
influence is waxing and waning,
It's
or
very
waning and waxing.
So now I have 4. 3.
You have 3 influence points. Yes.
Spend. So I spend.
Hey, 10 rabid bears. How's it going?
Andrew,
Good
welcome.
to see you.
So I do it here. What happens?
We're
All right, so you're adding 3 influence there.
playing
East Germany.
It becomes
War game,
neutral
'cause
territory.
The world isn't
Now can I
terrifying
start a
enough,
coup
right?
with that?
You could do a coup instead of just adding influence.
Okay.
You need to have, or I need to have influence in the territory that you're
Yep.
trying to influence
Yes.
to call coup in.
Okay.
And remember, you would be rolling against a 6 there. You've got 3.
So I could like do a coup here or here.
Sure.
Right. So I'll do a coup.
We still don't have chat up on the big screen, Andrew. So.
Syria.
All right, you call coup in Syria.
Yeah.
All right, so you're rolling against a 4. You have 3 influence points.
I have 3 influence points. Choppa! 1.
Well, that's a 4.
So I
So
tie.
nothing happens.
Oh, okay.
But
Do I go up in military?
Yeah. I can
Coup
relay some
attempts.
stuff, but
Coup
they're
attempts.
very involved in a very crunchy
equal to the
game,
operations
so-
value. So you get 3 military operations.
+1 for my other
How are you
card.
doing?
Oh, right, I
yeah.
forgot. You get +1.
So 4, babe.
And
I think that's how that worked, right? Or do I just
all
need
further
to-
operations played by the U.S. this turn add 1 to their value. Yeah.
Oh
to
wait,
a
does that mean
maximum
I
of
have
4.
5?
No, you had, instead of it being a 3, it was a 4.
Oh,
So
and
you
then
actually do decrease my influence there
by
1.
1. So
Yep.
you're gone.
I'm knocked out of Syria, and you
Okay.
moved it up to 4. Excellent. Excellent. We're getting the hang of this.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. Round 4, everyone. Come
right.
watch the dancing bears.
Um,
How many cards
well-
are usually in a deck?
Hang out with us.
Yes.
We're
I'm
just
going
chilling,
to just do
playing some Cold War stuff.
NASSER. Nasser.
I'm looking for a Band-Aid in my bag.
Nasser is happening in Egypt.
Egypt.
So-
Is it
Where
really?
Egypt.
Egypt should be around here somewhere, right there.
Oh, yeah.
Add 2 USSR influence in Egypt. Remove half rounded up of the US influence. You have none.
And you just don't get the
Yeah.
influence
Basically,
on the card,
Cold
right?
War stuff is.
So now
Fascinating
I
and
control
terrifying.
Egypt, and this is removed from the game.
Okay.
really thought I
will
had a
play
Band-Aid in
the
here.
Marshall
You wanna
Plan.
flip that? It doesn't really matter, but
does
just so we
matter.
know who the active player
All right.
is.
Allows you to play NATO.
Aha.
Too. So the other thing is it says add 1 influence to each of the 7 non-USSR controlled Western European countries. So
All right.
yes.
I control none
Yeah, I
of
am
Western Europe,
Band-Aidless, apparently.
so that helps you a lot.
I have like everything.
Oh
but a Band-Aid.
yeah. But do I get both? What does NATO give me?
No, NATO is a card that I've already discarded. Remember,
Oh.
I
That is
Weird
invalidated
Lobster
NATO.
Revenge. I
So
don't know
when
why.
we shuffle
Some things
these
would
back
show up
in,
and some wouldn't.
you'll get...
That
And
is
this
really
will
weird.
allow play of NATO.
Yes,
Right?
correct.
So
So
NATO's
you
back.
put the Marshall Plan out here.
Oh no, my dice.
It should be one of your gray...
Sorry, gray tokens. Marshall Plan? Yes, Japanese. Marshall Plan.
Okay. So we now know that the Marshall Plan has happened, which means if you ever end up with NATO, this gets exiled from the game, and add 1 U.S. influence in each of 7 non-USSR controlled Western European countries.
1.
Mobile is really
Western
weird,
Europe.
guys.
Western
Mobile and chat.
Non-USSR
Are not
controlled Western European
always
countries.
Yeah.
friends. I've noticed,
Alright,
which is
I need
really a
ton of
shame.
ones. One.
John, down by your foot, there is a D20. Can you, on your left
Andrew,
foot?
what is Amanda supposed to guess?
Sorry.
What? Did you get to use your figure?
Okay, sorry, I lost track.
That's my guess.
That's a good guess.
Bam. A little bit of Italy. Is Greece west or east? Because it's
That's
got a
west.
darker. That's
Yeah,
true.
Turkey is technically Western Europe.
Awesome.
All right, and
Was that 7?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
That's
So
super
2
cool.
more.
Are you gonna be
6.
streaming with it?
and 7.
Wow, that was
A
major.
big move.
That was definitely a big move. I'm not super happy with that.
Your turn. Oh, you still have China though, so you do
I-
have another action.
I do have another action. What turn? What?
Yeah,
We're
round
on
are
I
you?
am
5
definitely
now.
5.
Band-Aidless.
So I
Oh, very cool.
Andrew's new PC parts have stared arriving.
That's
Ah.
awesome.
He's gonna get to start building that
Sweet.
and use that capture card he got from you, Andy.
I'll make a little tower if I can while I wait.
Always fun to make towers while you wait.
feel like I want to waste
Well,
this, so I'm
There's
going to
a thing
use
I
it
need
for
to put in my
influence.
bag, just Band-Aids.
Ah!
Oh, nicely built.
Yes.
All right.
Well, that's
So
super cool.
I have that Stalinization that I mentioned earlier,
Oh.
but I'm not going to use it as an action. I'm going to use it for 3 operation points.
Okay. You want a
So-
really good
And
hand.
you get to paint it?
Yeah,
Not
it was a
painting
pretty good
the-
hand.
Not
So
painting your computer.
I get my 3 operation points.
I could, like,
Okay.
paint your computer to match your figure, all black and
What do I
golden
want to
purple.
use them for? I think I want to spread some influence.
Put little wyverns,
If I'm reading the rules correctly,
the buttons.
I can just take over
Every key on the
Saudi
keyboard is
Arabia
a
with those
different
3
shaped wyvern.
influence. Or I could spread them around. No more than 2. Oh no, it's just 3 influence. Okay, so I'm gonna put 2 in Czechoslovakia and 1 in Poland,
Okay.
bringing them both to 3. And
Oh, thank you for the
Hey.
bits.
Lobster of
Thank
Revenge.
you, Lobster of Revenge.
Bam.
I believe Lobster of Revenge is now the bit leader.
Oh, sorry. There you go. One in Chekhov. Where's the other one?
So you get to see all the
Poland.
parts?
There you go.
Super cool.
Okay.
That is my turn. You go.
Okay, I will play Early War. Formosan Resolution. Taiwan shall be treated as a battleground country for scoring purposes. If the U.S. controls Taiwan and the scoring card is played during the final score at the end of the 10 days. I don't want that. All I want is the 2 influence. So,
You know what this makes me want to play?
Yeah.
What?
Or makes me want to watch? It's Atomic Blonde.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's pretty
Good
good.
movie.
Yeah.
Good movie.
All right, I'm going to take over Greece.
Okay.
I want to, like, play the soundtrack to it while we play this.
That's pretty good.
I feel like there's a lot of
Take over
risk
Italy.
strategy to this.
Yeah, because when you play a card, you could seriously give your opponent the edge.
Okay.
Okay. And this
So-
is removed from the game.
There's a rule with scoring in Europe. That's
Really?
removed? Yeah.
Is
Hang
it
on.
that you can be whelmed?
Yes, I think you can in Europe.
Thank you
Scoring
for getting
and
that
victory.
reference. I really,
I think it's
really
one of the ways
appreciate
you can win the game
It's a cheap case.
You can win the game with Europe?
with Europe. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm having fun down there. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Jeez.
If either side controls Europe, that side wins when the Europe scoring card is played. So we
How do you
need to know
control
what
Europe?
controlling a country means.
Oh, 7 is 3 is dominance. Control is win. I don't know what that means. Do you mean you control everything?
So if the scoring card is played, we determine who controls that, has a presence there, who has domination, and who controls it. Presence means that you control some countries in that region. Domination is you control, I believe it's 2 battlegrounds.
I have 2 battlegrounds currently.
Right, so
you have 2 battlegrounds.
right, so we
currently.
both have domination. A superpower has presence in the region if it controls at least one country. A superpower achieves domination if it controls more countries than its opponent, and it controls more battleground countries than its opponent.
Huh.
Must control at least one non-battleground to in the region or to achieve domination. So currently you
I'm
dominate
just
Europe.
wondering where the other battlegrounds
'Cause
are.
you
Andrew. I mean, I only know of
More, these
3.
Flipped over, yeah.
Yeah, because
That
I
makes
have
sense.
2 battlegrounds. You have 1, 2.
No, I have 2 battlegrounds.
Oh, we both have 2. So neither of us has
This is
domination.
the Battlegrounds Europe branches.
If only.
Control is a superpower's control of a region if it controls more
the ultimate
countries
plan of the
than its
store.
opponent and
Garrett's
controls all
secret
the
plan
battleground
is,
regions.
Take over a small country in Europe.
Okay.
So-
It's your move, Andy. What you got?
The flag is.
I'm
just
gonna play
a
the
board
China
for a
card.
board
So
game.
what does the China card give you?
Um,
China, China, China. 2,000.
it's a 4-point card, so I get 4 operation points.
Okay.
If I spend all those operation points in Asia, I get 1 extra operation.
Huh, okay.
So I would get 5 if I spent them all in Asia. I'm not going to spend them in Asia because there's one thing we haven't done yet.
And what is that?
I'm going to start the space race.
Oh.
A player may
Space.
only discard one card per turn in an attempt to advance in the space race. Advancing on the space race track can award victory points, special abilities, or both.
Roll ops.
Discard a
2.
card with an operation point value equal to or greater than the number shown on the track into which you're attempting to advance.
Huh.
So I'm attempting to advance into, yes, there.
Satellite, yeah, you need 2. 2-1, what does that mean?
So the left-hand number is victory points awarded to the first player to reach that box.
Oh,
So this requires 2 ops
okay.
and requires a roll of 1 to 3. So roll the die. If the number falls within the range listed on the target box,
And if you
you
fail,
move your marker into that box. So I'm
flag
discarding
is just
discarding
Eric's
the China
China
card,
card.
which means you get it
Yeah,
face down.
obviously
You
it's
can't
the
use
shield
it this
box for
turn.
revenge.
And now you roll.
It's definitely.
And
the
now
shield.
I roll.
What happens if you fail?
I get no progress on the space track.
That stinks. Okay.
So I want a 1, 2, or 3. I want to roll low. That's weird. I'm not used to that.
Oh, you never played
but-
Call of Cthulhu?
No.
Oh, play Call of Cthulhu. It's a lot of fun.
Ah!
No.
Nice attempt, bro. All right, my go.
And my guy is flipped, which means I can't anymore this turn attempt to move on the space race.
Okay, so now I'm going. I will also discard a card,
Okay,
and
that's a 2.
you don't get the thing, right?
Um,
Because I discarded it for the space race.
but you're using it for the operation points, so I would
Oh.
get the thing.
Okay.
So do you want to use it for that, or do you want to...
What do you think? The downside is that both of my cards are yours.
Right.
So yeah. Can I just pass the
Well,
round?
no.
Nuts.
You must play one more card.
Okay. Then I will play this one. Korean War. North Korea invades South Korea. Roll 1 die and subtract 1 for every U.S.-controlled territory adjacent to South Korea, which I have none.
Yeah.
You get a victory if it's a 4 through 6. And that's pretty much that, so I want to roll low.
So you're playing it as an action? No, you're using it for its 2
Alright.
operation points.
Yeah, for its 2 operation
Yeah.
points. But you still
But it
get
is
the action.
removed
All right,
from play.
Bye, Andrew.
Oh.
Thank you
I
for
still
popping
roll,
in.
right?
Yeah.
And,
Bye, Andrew.
And
Thanks
good luck
for
with your new computer
keeping
and,
things
and
up.
with getting your stream going.
Have fun.
All right, so go ahead and...
Roll
Yep.
low numbers. 1.
Wow.
That's
I get nothing.
as low as you can go.
God.
Yeah. USSR
Limbo.
victory on a modified die roll 4 to 6. Yeah.
All right. Now I roll for the space race, right?
And the Korean War is gone from the game, so that
Thank God.
I kind of wanted that, I guess.
All right. So now I do the space race.
Right, so you flip your thing
Okay.
to
and then I
indicate that
roll,
you're...
right?
Yep, and you want to roll a 1, 2, or 3.
Come on, Cthulhu powers.
Oh,
right.
darn. Space is hard to get into.
All right, and now it's
Who
another
would've thought?
round. What is this?
That's
4
the...
plus turn.
So after turn 4,
Yep.
we're going to have bigger hand sizes,
Oh.
and turns get longer.
Okay.
And again, in the late war, hands get bigger and we have more. So that's the end of the round.
Okay, so I'll discard that.
Turn moves up,
Okay.
flip that. You actually hang on to that.
Oh.
It stays in your hand, and you draw back up to 8.
Okay. This
And I
goes
draw back up to 8.
And you start the round again.
Yes.
Right? Do we score yet, or do we have to wait for the scorecards?
We have to wait for the scorecards.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7.
7. There you are.
Thank you. We're not in the middle war, right?
Okay.
Okay, this is more my speed. All right.
Yeah, I had a hand the first turn that worked well for me.
All right.
All right.
That's so mean. Ooh. Oh, does our operation go back? Do we lose anything for that?
Oh yes, we each lose 1 victory point. So I lose 1, and then you lose
lose
1.
one, and we're
So
back at
nothing,
0-0.
Yeah.
nothing happens.
Nothing
sense.
happens.
Thank you for
Okay.
reminding me, though.
I was just
Oh,
making
and
sure.
DEF CON goes up 1 point.
So we're at 3? Oh, okay. So we're at 5 again.
So DEFCON heals 1 at the
Thank
end of every round.
God, yeah.
Otherwise, I think, yeah, we would be running into nuclear war quite quickly.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This card is so mean. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
If I can do it, I'll try. Oh man.
Dang, nabbit. I think I'm going to...
This is so messed up, dude. I have a hand of like horrifying historical facts. It's so...
This is actually pretty cool. In the manual,
Yeah?
like the instructions cover the first 10 pages.
Yep.
And then they have instructions for tournament play and the Chinese Civil War
There's
alternate.
tournament play for this?
Yes.
Wow.
Tournament play just requires like revealing the last card in your hand at the end of the round to make sure you're not holding on to a scoring card, stuff like that.
Okay.
But then they have an extended example of play that shows how the game is played. And then from page 20 through 31, there is
Flavor.
Oh,
For
this-
every
gonna
card
have
in the
me-
game, there's a paragraph that describes the historical moment that
You were
that
gonna
card
have me do
actually.
story time.
that's so cool.
I mean, if you want to read like flavor when we play a card,
Sure.
All right.
we can make this into a
Otherwise,
history
I'm just
lesson.
I'm just
That'd be
sitting
so
here
cool.
because
Andy.
Yeah, I know it's my turn.
What
I
you
have to
got?
do something.
Oh, sugar. So I think this is the game-winning card right here. I could be wrong.
He's got the
Could be
game-winning
wrong.
card already in his hand.
no
That would be a
idea.
short game.
It could be. I don't know, because it's all ready. I guess. I don't know. Jesus, this is a weird.
Interesting.
Card.
All right, I'm going to try this.
All right, give it a shot.
I have the Arab-Israeli War.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, right?
Whose is this?
War is
Yeah,
breaking
wow.
out in
Oh,
Israel.
that's your thing.
All right.
Okay.
would you like me to read some flavor?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Arab-Israeli War. 1948 to 49, 1956, 1967, 1968 to
Just
70,
always.
1973,
I'm
and
sorry.
1982.
It's true.
This is horrible.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The state of Israel was virtually born of war. After the end of the British Mandate, Israel was thrust into conflict with its Arab neighbors. Israel prevailed in all such wars, excepting its invasion of Lebanon in 1982, from which it ultimately had to withdraw. Arab success was nearly achieved during the surprise attacks of the Yom Kippur War. However, these too ultimately failed. While superpower intervention was frequently threatened on both sides, ultimately success or failure in the conflicts rode upon the relative capabilities of Arab and Israeli militaries.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
it is. It
The
is nasty.
Arab-Israeli War is happening. So what happens is, Pan-Arab coalition invades Israel. Roll 1 die and subtract 1 for U.S. control of Israel, which you do not
I
have.
don't have control of Israel. No.
Nope. And every U.S. controlled country adjacent to Israel, which you don't have.
No.
Yeah. I succeed on the roll if after modification it's a 4 through 6.
Okay.
So if you had control of Israel, it would lower my die roll and
By
make
1 or-
yeah, exactly.
So what do you need? What do you get if you win?
If I win, I get 2 on the military operations track.
That's good.
Oh no, I always get 2 on the military operations track. So
Okay.
I've influenced an Israeli uprising and caused two war to happen.
Okay. It's not going to be as bad as what I do.
Effective victory, USSR gains 2 victory points and replaces all U.S. influence in Israel with USSR influence. So I could get 2 victory points here. I just need a 4 through 6.
5. Got it.
All right, so you
No.
lose influence there.
So I lose-
gain influence there.
How much do you get?
I get equal to what you lost.
Okay.
So that would have been more effective, but it's not removed from the game,
Okay.
so that war could happen again later.
That's cool. All right, ready for my big surprise move?
Yes, let's see what your big surprise move is.
I got NATO.
Oh, man.
So NATO is
I thought
already
I
in effect.
exiled NATO. Are there 2 NATO cards?
I think I got it because Marshall Plan was.
No, it was NORAD that I exiled or dumped into the deck.
So do you want me to read what NATO does?
Sure, read what NATO does, and then if Amanda feels like it, she can tell us what NATO is.
I'll do
The
so.
I have no idea. What is NATO?
The USSR may no longer make coup attempts or realignment rolls in any U.S.-controlled countries in Europe.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
The U.S. countries in
It's
Europe
nasty.
may not be attacked by play of the Brush Wars event.
Oh.
So if I get control, you can't retaliate.
So I just have to influence slowly and steadily.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
It's pretty good.
Let's keep that out so we can remember what it does.
All right.
All right. It
So,
is
NATO, 1949. The second part of the U.S. strategy to rebuild Europe, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, became synonymous with the West's opposition to the Soviet Union. An oft-repeated maxim for NATO's purpose captures it nicely. Quote, NATO was created to keep the Soviets out, the Americans in, and the Germans down.
Wow.
End quote.
Damn. That's cool. All right. It is your turn, sir.
Yeah, so we're on turn 2 now?
Turn 2. I feel like there's also different play styles to this game for the
Yeah.
2 different players. I feel like my stuff is counter you. Your stuff is spread like crazy. That's
You
what
might
I'm
be
seeing
right.
so far.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Flavor.
It's like blue versus green in Magic the
I don't want to
Gathering.
do that. Man.
Give me cards. Do things that help me. Oh, sorry.
All right, I need some influence. So I'm gonna use a USA card for 3 influence.
Finally! What do I
Duck
get?
and cover. Degrade the DEFCON level 1 level.
Oh my god.
Zoop.
No.
Then US player earns victory points equal to 5 minus the current DEFCON level. So you earn 1 victory point.
Hey!
I have 3 influence.
Okay.
I am going to use those 3 influence to...
Didn't you get a victory point for Israel? Something like that?
I don't... For the
The Israeli
war?
Sorry. Israeli war. Gain 2 VP and replace all U.S. influence with Israeli influence, right?
Oh, you're right. So
So
I
you have
gained 2
one-
VP and
so
then
you
you
have
gained 1. So
Yeah.
I still have 1 in victory point. Definitely a tug of war going on with the victory
Now
points. We'll see
DEFCON's
that.
at 4.
Yeah, DEFCON's at 4. And I am going to use my 3 operation points
Okay.
to take over Israel. I now control Israel.
Now I have a question.
Yes.
The card I played before, way back,
Just like in history, Russia controls Israel.
the one I played last round, is that still in effect? The one where I have to
I
move
have
4 or something like that?
No,
Okay.
that is no longer in effect because it is a new turn.
Okay, now it is my turn.
It is your turn.
Special relationships. If the UK is controlled by the US but NATO is not in effect, US adds 1 influence to any country adjacent to it.
But it is in effect.
If UK if UK is US controlled and NATO is in effect, add 2 influence to any Western European country and get 2 VPs.
Dude. Okay, so
I'm
you get
going
2 VP.
And I'm
1,
going
2.
to control Canada.
Okay.
This is harsh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My go. We're on round or part 3.
Part
Yep.
3.
Yep.
And now I feel like we're getting the speed going.
Yeah.
We know
now
what
we
to
know
do.
how things work.
I used to know the whole anthem for Canada.
Canada's pretty cool. They got bags of milk.
Yeah, Canada's awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't like
Very
these
envious
cards.
of Canada right now.
That's how I felt last round. My whole
Yeah.
hand was like
Yeah.
half your
like
stuff, half my stuff.
unhelpful.
So it's like, can't we just have separate decks? That's how I feel.
Honestly,
Obviously.
when we were playing the thing, my
Yeah.
hand, so I was one of the infected later in the game.
Round
I
2.
spent a good chunk of that game
Oh, hey.
with a useless hand.
Yeah.
Even like when theoretically I should have been lying and being like, oh, I can't help. No, my hand was legit garbage.
Remember when Andrew had like 30 Petri dishes?
Yep, sure do.
So sorry, Andy.
Yeah, a thing is happening.
Oh,
Amanda,
no.
Oh,
Card number 17. De Gaulle leads France.
Shaking hands with Charles de
But I
Gaulle.
control France.
All right. 1958 to 1969. Founder of France's Fifth Republic, de Gaulle's role during the Cold War is generally viewed through the lens of his second presidency. While still a Western ally, de Gaulle attempted to establish France as an independent voice within the confines of the Western camp. He developed an independent nuclear deterrent, withdrew from NATO's unified command structure, and criticized U.S. policy in Vietnam. He also pursued increased trade and cultural relations with the Soviet bloc. He sought in all things to restore France to her former place of greatness in world affairs.
Wow.
So,
What does this do exactly?
remove two U.S. influence in France.
Does that
So-
cause a coup or anything? Okay,
No.
so I just go to 1.
Yep, you go to 1.
Bam.
Add 1 USSR influence to France. And
Neutralize
cancels
France.
effect of NATO for France.
Oh, for France. Okay.
So-
we just got to keep those.
We
both
know
out.
in NATO, USSR cannot attempt coups
Yep.
or may not attack using the
really
brush
want
war.
to watch.
So now I
Atomic
can do
Blonde
that
now.
in France.
He did John Wick 2, right? The guy who did Atomic Blonde.
Yes.
John Wick 2 is really good.
I want to watch, like, Atomic Blonde just, it's really good.
Yeah.
When did we do the formation resolution? I don't remember doing that.
I did, but I spent it for influence instead of. Well, I guess it goes off anyway, but
Yeah.
I played that card. It's just
So-
for the 10th round, Taiwan.
So the formation influence comes out. Yeah.
Okay.
Should I read that?
Sure. That was Taiwan doing things.
Number 35.
They're not numbered in here.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's weird.
Yeah. So like they're in order, but they're not numbered. So I sort of have to estimate how far into it that is
Okay.
to find it.
Formosian resolution.
Yeah, Formosian,
so-
because Formosa is the peninsula.
Ah.
Yeah.
So Andy, I captured some Nazi
So
scientists.
now Taiwan is a battleground.
Yep.
Love is a battleground.
Move out to the heart
9,
of
10,
your
11,
two
12,
blame.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
If the U.S. controls Taiwan when Asia's scoring card is played, or during the final scoring at the end of turn 10, it is not a battleground
That's
country for
not
other
this
game
card.
purposes. Okay,
Then these are not in order. They're
Huh.
just
just
Random.
Random
Well, they're probably
cards.
chronological.
nope, sure not.
Weird.
Crazy.
1956, 1968, 1974, 1964, 1970, 1969. No, they are not in order.
Oh well.
Okay.
So I have no idea what order they're supposed to be
That's crazy.
in.
Odd.
So I'm going to keep looking.
So Andy,
Yeah.
I captured some Nazi scientists.
Captured Nazi scientists.
So
Captured Nazi science. Oh, I know. I actually know about this.
I advance on the space race
What?
for free.
Formosa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Advance play
because-
space
yeah.
race marker by 1, so I
Yeah.
get a victory point. Right? Because I advanced here.
All right.
do-
Well, let's do captured Nazi scientists. 1945 to 1973, codenamed Project Paperclip in the United States, the victors of World War II scrambled to recruit
Remove from
former
play.
Nazi scientists into their own research establishments.
So I-
In the West,
score
such
this?
efforts involved
The one we
shielding
did?
scientists from war crime investigations,
She has to go to the
which
section
is
on the space track.
ridiculous. It just is. Perhaps the most famous case is Werner von Braun, who is thought of as the father of America's rocketry program. Stalin was reportedly confounded by Soviet failure to grab this knowledge base first. Super! It's just recruit Nazis.
Yeah.
It's never gonna bite us in the butt.
They got a microwave out of that, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Amanda, can you go to the space race?
Sure.
It should be on page 10 or so. Page
Uh.
9 or 10.
What is the Russian scientist who went to space? Krabowski or Shrekov or something like that?
Def contract.
One more page back.
events. Then it's on page 7.
I was off. Okay, so what does John get for taking over
the first thing in
the
this.
Earth satellite.
Yeah.
You get 2 victory
see.
points because you're the first one there.
Yeah.
So zoop zoop, you're at
So
3.
is it special abilities are granted only to the first player to reach the space? What space is that?
That's the Earth satellite.
Yes. So now
I think it lets him look at my hand or some crap
It
like
doesn't
that.
say Earth satellite. I see animal in space, man in Earth orbit, Eagle Bear has landed in
Oh,
space
okay.
station.
Oh, I see. I
So I
see.
guess-
They have like
Two
space
options.
numbers,
Okay.
so
makes sense.
Gotcha.
yeah.
I'm also
Well, you got 2 victory points.
done.
There is flavor for that.
That's cool.
It's JFK's speech about going into space. When
Which
we
we
go
all
into
know.
space because whatever mankind must undertake, free men must fully share. I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before the decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth. I can't do a Boston Brahmin
Yeah, I
accent,
know.
so I wasn't even going to attempt
Not
that.
even to do
What's going
Joel's
on,
version of
Sandy?
it. All right.
We choose not to do these things because... Yeah.
All right, Andy, what do you got?
I'm still looking for the Formosan.
It's not worth doing
I'm
for
really
its
annoyed that I can't find this
ability.
card. Formosan Resolution.
So I'm just going to call coup in Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Super.
I am doing a 1-point coup.
Oh no, don't do this, Andy.
So
Please don't do
Lebanon
this.
is a 2.
Oh, Andy. Oh, good. It's not a battleground.
It's not a battleground.
Thank God. You got a 6.
Oh man,
So
that's a
you
good
got-
coup. Oh no, I'm sorry. You don't have influence there. I can't do it there.
No.
I'll say I did Iran, which is a battleground.
Battleground. So this goes up, right?
Yep. We're closer to thermonuclear war.
I think closer than you think, Andy.
I get 1 more because I used a 1-point card for this, and
What card
7
did you
influence change. So you lose influence in Iran,
Okay. He
and I
played.
have 6 influence there.
What did you play? Blockade.
Or no, I'm sorry. 7 minus 4 is 3. So you lose 1 and I gain 2.
Okay. He played Blockade. Unless U.S. player immediately discards 3 or more cards.
But I didn't
let me
use
know.
it for the red.
Oh, okay.
It's a red card, and
it's
I didn't
removed from
use
the
it as
game,
an
right?
action. I didn't use it as an action, so it's
Oh, so
not
it's
removed.
not removed from the game.
Yeah.
Oh.
That only happens if the action takes place.
Okay.
I have no idea where the flavor for that card is.
Yeah.
It
So
Yeah.
Andy,
Yeah.
yeah.
what time is it?
It is just about 9
8:54?
o'clock.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, guess what, guys?
So Andy,
Yeah.
this could be really wrong to do, but it's very funny if I do it.
Are you destroying the world?
Nuclear test ban. Players get VPs equal to the current DEFCON level, then increase the DEFCON level by 2.
I think that means it goes that way.
Oh, it goes that way. Oh, then never mind. Take that back. Thank God.
All right, well, I looked it up on their website and
Yeah.
found the flavor.
Oh, okay.
1955, the Formosan Resolution. Reacting to the loss of China, the United States Congress extended to President Eisenhower open-ended authority to defend Taiwan, technically known as the Republic of China on Taiwan, with military force. The resolution came at a time when the United States faced challenges from the People's Republic in Indochina, as well as the Korean Peninsula. Effectively, Taiwan sat under the U.S. nuclear umbrella, and the balance of power within the Taiwan Straits would now remain a question of strategic importance to the United States.
Huh, cool.
See, I love the history.
Yeah.
It's actually quite fascinating.
It's very cool.
And once we get into this area here, I was actually alive for some of this history.
Yeah. So,
I have a question for you, John,
yes.
regarding this card.
Yes.
Did you use it for the 2 influence
I
points?
use it for the 2 influence points.
Okay, so it's a white card.
Okay, so
You used it for the 2 influence, so the event did not go off, so it's
Okay,
not
so it
removed
goes
from the
back into
game.
the
It's just in the discard pile.
I will be using this card though. CSI has been created.
CSI?
CIA.
Oh.
CIA. You must reveal your hand this turn.
Oh,
So I
okay.
see your hand.
All right, so I have independent reds.
Okay.
I have decolonization. I have Indo-Pakistani war. And I have Middle East scoring, which you might have been able to guess from all the stuff
yeah.
I've been doing this round.
So, U.S. may conduct an operations if they have played an ops card this turn. So I'm going to attempt to cause a coup in Iran.
What ops have you played this turn?
As if they played an ops this card. So this is technically an ops card.
Oh, okay.
So it's an ops 1.
Ops 1.
So
Okay.
I have to try to. I'm going to try to take a coup in Iran.
All right. So you double Iran's
So 4.
score to 4.
I
You
have
roll the
1.
die. You have 1.
2.
That's a 3. So you fail, but you still get 1 military.
Ops, yeah.
Okay.
And that is it.
And
then
man,
this
we're
card
at
is
DEF
gone.
CON 2.
Yeah, that's not good, guys.
No, well, I'm glad you've got that nuclear test ban in your hand.
I am too.
Well, now that you know what I'm up to, guess I'm going to do 2.
Well, there's no point in playing that now, unfortunately, because now I won't score any victory points off of it. So I'm going to hold on to that card if I can.
I'm going to spread some influence, 2 influence. But first, Independent Reds goes off.
Oh, so
Add sufficient U.S. influence in either Yugoslavia, Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary, or Czechoslovakia to equal USSR influence.
So
I choose Bulgaria,
Bulgaria. Where is it?
where I have none influence, so you get none influence.
Okay, that's fair.
That goes away. And I'm going to spread my 2 influence. That's a 7. I don't get a 7. I'm going to put 1 in Lebanon,
Okay.
which means I control it,
Lebanon. Yep.
and 1 in Syria. Did I start with 1 in Syria? You must have removed it
I
at
did.
some point.
Yes.
All right, 1 in Syria.
Okay. I'm going to play the Truman Doctrine. Is that a thing? It doesn't appear to be a thing, so I'm not going to worry about it. Remove all USSR influence markers in one uncontrolled country in Europe.
An uncontrolled country in Europe. So there, France. Okay. All right.
Yeah, guys,
Is that
there's
removed?
2 cards, as far as I can tell here, missing. Or there's a card like missing in here. And
Wow.
instead we have South American scoring in its place.
Oh, weird.
Wow.
I will say the
So
editing
in our-
in the
in our
instruction
booklet-
manual is a little weird in places.
Yeah.
There are references to he/she, references to he, references to they. Like, it feels like it was written
Yeah.
by committee.
How old is the game?
Yeah, it's got
like
South
an
American
earlier-
It's been around
scoring.
for a while.
Yeah.
And then Brush War, and then Central America scoring, Southeast Asia
No problem,
scoring.
DG Dell. Welcome back. I'm sorry to hear. I mean, is it a heat-related issue? Is your PC overheating? That can be really awful.
So
Plus
yeah, our
one
book is
operations
like
value,
missing
all
some
points are used.
flavor.
So if I use this, it's an operations card, right?
What's going on?
Oh, China. I'm just considering using it.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it your turn right now?
No, I thought you. Wait, what did you play?
I just used.
Oh, you used that, so it is my turn now.
No, you used the CIA.
You revealed your hand,
Yeah.
then you played a card, and it went into the box.
Oh, that's right.
And then I played Truman
Wow.
Doctrine. So it is your turn. Sorry.
So the Formosan Resolution is actually like way far,
In history.
like it's way out of order in terms of where it's printed in the booklet.
All
I'm going to
right.
use this for a coup
Where?
in.
France?
Oh no, God! I can't do
Yeah.
that. I can't do that.
It's like printed
You'll
after
lose.
card
No, I could do a
100.
coup in Syria. So, because I now have 1 influence in Syria,
Okay. So roll the
but
dice.
maybe I don't want to do that.
Do a coup in Libya. Do a coup in.
No, I'm going to do it for 2 influence.
Do it in South Africa.
I'm going to take 2 influence in Libya.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm going to give the Libyans a box full of used
Related.
pinball machine
yeah,
parts.
I mean, it's
But-
hot where you are.
All right,
So
5. Your turn.
So I will use. I'll use Vietnam revolts. You got 2 influence now added to Vietnam,
Okay.
so you control Vietnam.
what card is that?
Vietnam revolts.
Card number
9.
9.
For the remainder of the turn, you get +1 in your operations. Any card that uses points in Southeast Asia.
Well, you know how often I'm going. So you're using it as an action, or are you using it for the?
I have to use it for to get the points here, right?
Yeah, right. Okay.
So 1946, Ho Chi Minh tried repeatedly to enlist the aid of the Truman administration for independence. His letters never received a response. The French government, with support from the U.S. and Britain, attempted to reestablish its colony in Indochina. The attempt was doomed and would lead to disaster at Dien Bien Phu.
That's
So you're calling coup?
coup.
Where?
Syria.
Okay.
Syria.
No, you don't have influence in Syria. You can't do a coup there.
Oh.
You have to have influence in there to do a coup.
I thought I was adjacent to it with Turkey.
Or no, I'm sorry. I have to have influence. So yes.
You can't have a coup against
Nobody.
Yeah.
no one.
Yeah.
All right, so that card has a
I'm
2
taking
on it.
over.
So, I'm sorry. It was a 2, and there's 4 there.
4, so 6.
So I lose 1 influence. You gain 1 influence.
Give me your power, Syria.
All right. That's fine.
No, it's not. It's horrifying.
Now it's my turn.
Yes,
This is the last card of the
the round.
round,
Yep.
and I cannot hang on to a scoring card into the next round, so I must play this.
What is it?
But I've been spending the entire round working towards it. Middle East scoring.
All right.
Both sides score. So presents. Presents is.
Yeah.
Do they actually list
That's
it
a good
somewhere?
song.
Presents.
That's a good song.
Presents.
Terrible
No,
song,
but
but
do
yeah.
they list the rules for presents? Amanda, can you go to the rules for presents?
Sure.
It's in scoring, which is page 9.
Scoring and victory. Scoring. Presence. A superpower has presence in a region if it controls at least one country in that region.
Aha, you control none
None,
countries
yeah.
there. So you have no presence.
None more black.
I have domination in
5.
here because I control more territories than you, and I control more battlegrounds.
Battlegrounds.
A
Yeah.
superpower achieves dominance of a region if it controls more countries in that region than its opponent, and it controls more battleground countries in that region than its opponent. A superpower must control at least one non-battleground and one battleground in a region in order to achieve domination.
All
of
right,
that
so I
region.
control Lebanon and 4 battlegrounds.
Cool.
So I have domination. I do not have control because control would require me to actually have all the battlegrounds. And
But you have domination.
oddly enough, there are a lot of battleground states in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Not sure why that is.
How shocking.
Yeah.
So you got
what is
5
this
points?
Mideast scoring? In 1946, Truman had to threaten to send warships to the Mediterranean to compel the Soviets to remove troops from Iran. Thus began the Cold War struggle in the Middle East. Since this region provided Western economies with their lifeblood, oil, it also provided the USSR with an irresistible opportunity to meddle. U.S. support for Israel gave the Soviets an opening to the Arab world that they would repeatedly exploit.
All right. So that goes in the discard pile.
Okay.
I gain 5 points
you
for
go to
dominating.
2 points.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
Same combination on my luggage.
That is the end of that.
It's very fun.
What are you going to do?
China.
Okay.
4 influence, and
If you're using all your influence points here in Asia, you get 5.
What card is that?
control stuff.
Yes, DG Dell, we should totally have that playing right now.
Yeah.
We
What?
didn't start the fire. It's always burning since the world's been turning.
I'm going to take over South Korea.
Bernstein. Everyone knows Leonard Bernstein in that song, and no
Yeah.
one knows anything else.
That's not.
No, that's
a different
the end of the
song.
world as
So
we know
South
it.
Korea
Sorry,
influence
getting things mixed up because I've been thinking
5.
of the end of the world as we know it.
Wait, you're doing
which
a
card
coup
is that?
in South Korea?
Oh, God, it is.
Don't do a coup in South Korea. We're at DEFCON 2. That would be the end of the
No.
world.
What card is that?
This is the China card.
So he's using the China card for its influence points.
Yeah.
You could just place 5 influence points in.
South
Both their
Korea.
songs
In
to sing in
Asia.
karaoke. I'm really impressed
yeah, you
that
could-
you sing
yeah.
both of those in
All right,
karaoke.
It would bring you to
Those are
6
hard
influence, and then you control it.
Give me that. So,
The People's Republic of China played a pivotal role during
Should
the
I just
Cold
put it
War.
down? Okay,
just
okay.
While
put
the
6
PRC's
in. I
influence
still
was
have 3
largely limited
influence.
to satellites in
Making sure
Asia,
there's no war.
the country was important to the
South
uneasy
Korea,
balance
West
of
Korea.
power that ultimately descended upon the post-World War II world. While
right.
beginning as an ally of
That
the
is- I
USSR,
get
China
China.
became
Yes,
a counterbalance to Soviet influence
That is
in
the end
Asia
of the round.
during the
Okay,
later
correct?
stages of
Round.
the Cold
We
War.
move to turn 3.
3.
China turns over. I control China now. We go back to the bottom.
We deal out cards.
We are at DEFCON
3.
2.
Yeah,
So nobody loses
breathing
any
during
points.
songs definitely.
These go there. DEFCON moves up
There's
to
a
3.
hardware store by Weird
Oh
Al.
my God.
That's a
I
hard
I
one
believe
to
that's
breathe
all.
during.
And now we redraw to
And
8. I have 1
Still
card.
Alive,
I have 2 cards.
2, 3,
by
4,
Alan
5,
MacLeod,
6, 7,
which is
8.
the closing credits.
Oh,
for
actually,
Portal.
sorry.
Because she's
we should
an
do this
opera
correctly.
singer.
Oh, what
She's
happened?
A trained
Oh, you-
opera
I just
singer
took the whole
who is
deck.
Very
So
good
what it
at
should be is
controlling when she
1,
breathes
2,
when
3,
she sings.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I'm the Shiren at the beginning
see.
of the yeah.
So you, how many cards do you have in your
I
hand
have
now?
5 right now.
And
Okay, so you need 3 more,
she sang
and I need
Still Alive.
3 more.
So she sang
no, I need
Still
2 more.
Alive
2 more.
I have
as a
5.
robot
Oh.
who doesn't need to breathe. She specifically did not put in breathing breaks in that song.
Oh yeah, or they took them out
Yeah, they
when
took
they
them
were
out
editing
very
it.
specifically. So that song is almost impossible to just sing as is unless you're very
Do you wanna
careful
cut the
about
deck?
what you breathe.
Sure.
The other one that's really hard to sing properly
Sorry.
is Opening Band by Paul and Storm
Trying to read what I can do.
because
2,
it
3,
has
4,
a
5, 6,
very long
7.
note at the very end that apparently they did a cheat
I should have
to get.
8.
It was not
2,
recorded
3, 4, 5,
prior,
6,
like they
7,
didn't record it immediately
8. How many do
after
you have in your hand?
I have
The
7.
rest of the song, it was recorded on its
There we
own.
go.
Give me that.
So they were able to
All right.
Okay,
get a
let's
few
go.
deep breaths in prior
So starting with
So
you.
we are in
I have
turn
managed
3
it.
now.
Yep.
once on,
Oh
in Rock
man,
Band.
this hand is not great.
No,
Okay.
give
Is
me
it pants?
things. Pants.
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 Okay, okay.
Okay.
I can do this.
Just immediately do a coup. It'll be your only chance to do a coup this round.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Nobody would be able, but then one of us might have a card in our hand that causes DEF CON
requires
to
a
go
coup.
down, and then that would be bad.
No.
Oh, that's true.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this card.
It's a lot of fun to sing. It's a hard one. You really need to know where to breathe.
I never used this card, did I?
There's someone on Tumblr, I believe, who rewrote, who did like a
Oh crap!
fic,
Crap! This
basically,
hand is awful.
Hey,
of
the
We Didn't Start the
cards,
Fire
Andy.
with modern history
So what do we get
lyrics.
for space? Just VPs and whatnot?
That sounds hilarious, DG Dell.
All right.
Karaoke
I'm
anime
gonna have to
show
do this
covers.
again.
Good times.
So
Give me things.
once again, the UN is intervening. This is the first thing I did last
UN is
Oh,
intervening.
right.
last time around, and they are giving me 2 points and not allowing the defectors to happen.
Okay.
So I get 3 points to spread around places. I'm going to use those to take over.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
I'm going to take over Burma and Laos/Cambodia.
Mama!
Oh my God.
Why'd you say that?
I panicked!
All right, John.
Okay, move is going to be simple. U.S.-Japanese Mutual
Obscure
Defense
wrath.
Pact. I get control of Japan.
Ouch. Wow. Okay.
Well then.
And USSR may no longer attempt coups or realignment roles in Japan.
All right.
Japan is mine.
There should be one of these little thingies to put out to remind us.
Yes, yes.
So
U.S. Japanese. 'Cause
My
screw
my
that.
influence stays though.
You
in
didn't have
Japan.
one.
Oh, I didn't have any influence there. Okay,
No.
fine.
Your turn.
All right, that was a thing that certainly happened.
See,
Did it need to? I don't
you
know.
got it.
It's
It's always
have
nice when
control of
someone gets my
3
Python
European
references
territories.
that aren't really, like, yeah.
All right, I will play.
Wait, you
nothing.
just used it. You
I
just
know,
played a
I
thing.
know,
It's
sorry.
my turn to play a thing.
Okay, so what was the thing? What if I get to here?
Oh, this is removed
Mate-
from the game.
What is it?
You created the CIA, right?
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah.
Where'd
So
that go?
I'm going to draw another card to replace that.
Any better?
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm just going to get 3 influence points and not use this,
All right.
and I'm going to take over India. Or India. Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm running low on 3s. There we
We
go.
are, yeah.
Okay. Your go.
I am going to attempt a coup.
Oh man.
Going for Thailand.
Thailand is there. Okay. So
up,
yep. 4.
and that's a 2 plus. So bam. Ah,
3. So nothing, but you do get 2 on here.
I'm blue.
Oh, you're blue. I'm red. Yep. Thank
and
you.
This goes up.
We already did that though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, the world teetering on the brink.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that's the way things go in this game though.
Yeah. Until someone plays destabilization, that will never happen in this game. Because it won't score him any points. So there's
Amanda,
no
I love
point.
that Lobster of Revenge also did the I Panicked.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm panicking.
All right. What?
The Burma, I
John, we need
panicked
to
is
do a better job of moving that.
a Monty
We're in
Python
3,
reference.
right?
Yeah, we're at 3. My bad.
Helps
It's
us
just a
keep track
weird
of how many
Python
things
reference.
we've done.
I mean, there are weird Python references and there are weird Python references.
Boy.
The Burma Myanmar thing is
So what do you think of the game?
a giant pain for a
Ooh,
librarian.
far,
I'm
I-
enjoying it so far.
I find it to be fun.
What name do you use in a country where there
It's
are two
interesting.
groups claiming that their country is named?
I'm
two
going to do
different things?
decolonization. Amanda, decolonization.
Decolonization.
Card
Which
number
card is
30.
that?
Is that your card?
Yes, it is a my card. I'm using it as an event. Add 1 USSR influence in each of any 4 African or Southeast Asian countries.
Oh my.
So I'm going to add
So you put 1 in.
2, 3.
Oh, just do these. Nigeria, Zephyra, Angelia. Because they're all 1s. You just get control. And here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You just get 4 control for 4.
All right. 1947 to 1979. While it is hard to put precise dates on the decolonization process, those dates chosen represent 2 of the most significant decolonization successes. Sparking the retreat from empire was
Yeah, I think
Britain's
that's what I'm gonna
fulfilled promise of independence for India in 1947. At the other extreme, Rhodesia's first majority election spelled doom for the apartheid system.
So how else does the world get destabilized?
How else does
DEF CON
DEF CON
go
move?
up, yeah.
I mean, there's cards that do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Like you could find yourself with a card that makes it happen, that you have to play,
right.
in theory.
Okay, that was my move. Flip the thing, and we're on 3.
Okay.
And it's your
Oh,
move.
sorry. Just reading.
Chat, do you get a sense for how the game works? Are we talking enough for you to understand what's actually going on in the game? I feel like I've got the hang of it.
Yeah, it's making more sense.
Now we're down to like figuring out strategy. Strategery.
Which I find this game, it's interesting, because, yeah. play. Early war, East European unrest. I can do the remove one influence from 3 countries, or I can just use it for the thing. I'll use it for that. I'm gonna raise my
3.
influence 3. And with 3, take back France. And I will increase.
It has to be adjacent territories, so you could put 1.
Pretty much anywhere around this border. Where else? Where else? Where else? Where else?
So because you put your first influence there,
Yep.
following influence has to be put here,
There,
here, or
there.
here.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That goes in the pile. We are on 4 now.
Yes.
Move it up to 4.
Oh. Boom. Oh.
Okay. So
Too much strategy, not enough chaos. I
Yeah.
agree.
there is definitely a
It
lot of
moves
strategy
a little
involved
slow
in
for
this.
me. This is not my personal fave sort of game. I like to be able to be moving a little
Gonna
bit more.
take over Hungary by using 2 influence
why?
to flip Hungary.
I guess.
So this is a 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
My turn.
While I find a 3, go ahead.
Okay. The ultimate irony would be to use this, cause a coup, and blow up the world.
I mean, you could
What is
destroy
it?
the world.
But I don't know. We're up to round 3, right?
Yeah.
What's the other way that you normally win? Getting to 20,
Getting to 20.
round 10,
Yep.
blow up the Earth, or control Europe. Those are the 4 ways
Yes.
to win. Or lose, technically.
Yeah.
The only other thing is, all 4 of these cards are yours, so it's very hard to, like, decide between those 2. I like that, but it feels like it's a little too random with, like, what you can get with your draws. But I'm not saying that as a major criticism. I'm just saying it is, like, I don't know. I like a lot of games similar to this concept where you each have a deck, and the
Yeah.
decks counter each other, rather than it being, like, chance of what you get. But I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's much different from what I'm used to. But you have so much control. I don't know if I'm going to be able to win this. So, yeah.
You can do a coup in a place that's not a battleground.
Yeah, I know. But let me see. I'll just use it for the influence.
So you've got 4 influence.
Control Spain.
You're using it for the influence and not recovering DEFCON. Damn. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
'cause-
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
It's very hard. I'm sorry. Give me 1 sec. I just got to distribute 2 more.
Oh, sorry.
So those last 2 I'm going to use for... It's got to be adjacent, right? So I'll just put 2 in Morocco.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Your turn.
I have to start using my scoring cards. Let's score Europe. Let's do it.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. So
All right, you have...
I control 1,
5.
2, 3, 4, 5. You control
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6,
7.
7. All right. So I have presence. I gain 3.
Yep.
You have domination.
So I get 7.
Yeah.
So I go to 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
Oh wait. +1 per controlled battleground. I control 2 battlegrounds. You control.
1, 2, 3.
You control 2 battlegrounds. So that.
Oh, I can... Oh, yeah, I do control 2 better.
Yeah.
So
+1 per country controlled that is adjacent to enemy superpower. Neither of us.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't.
I control ones that are adjacent to me. You control ones that are adjacent to you.
Huh, that's strange.
Okay.
All right, that's how that goes.
So that's Egypt scoring. Your turn. We're in 5.
All right, I will go for the space race.
Ooh, do it.
Again.
That did not work in my favor.
Oh, yeah, I'll use this one and ditch these cards.
Oh.
Discard 3 or more value operation cards. So yeah, I'll discard 3 cards.
Wow. Okay. So that he just played Blockade, which is one of my cards.
Yeah.
That forces the U.S. to discard 3 or more value or 3 or more value operation card. So it's one card of value 3 or more.
Okay.
So
Which one? Which one's the worst? By total of 3.
so he's forcing himself to discard a card. All right. And eliminate all U.S. influence in West Germany.
Unless U.S. player.
Oh, I see.
So that was to get rid of crap. That's essentially what I was doing. And this is round
and remove
4.
from play. So that was the Blockade, Amanda. Card number 10.
So I'm
Okay.
sorry, Andy. Are we in round 5 or 4?
Blockade is
That was
1948
5.
to 1949.
So we're moving to 6 now.
Now I'm
Soviets-
going to space.
The Soviets attempted to increase
Move
pressure
it
on
up
the
to
Western
6.
Allies to dissuade them from creating an independent West German government
sorry,
in their
space race.
zones.
You just did a
Primary
thing.
pressure point was a
You did
blockade
that.
of West Berlin.
That was your move.
In
but it's
response,
one
the
of your
UK
things. I
and
thought I had to
US
play the
launched
effect
the
and then
Berlin
I rolled to
airlift,
try to
which
do
at
space
its
race,
peak
right?
during the Easter parade
Oh, I see.
had a
Okay.
cargo
Yeah,
plane
so-
landing in Berlin every minute.
I need to roll a 4 through 1 to move up in the space race, right?
That was a 1-ops card.
Oh, it needs to be at least a 2 ops.
Yeah, it requires 2 ops to go.
Okay,
So
then
you've got
I'll-
1 ops available.
I'll increase my control in Morocco
Okay.
and take over Morocco.
All right. You control Morocco. Now
Your move.
let's score Asia, because I had
Oh.
2 scoring cards in my hand that round.
That stinks. All right, so you got 1, 2, 3. You have dominance, I'd say. I have presence, right?
I do not have dominance because I don't control Pakistan. Or no, I'm sorry, I have dominance but not control.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you have.
So hang on. Why don't we do you first? +1 control per controlled battleground country. You control
2, 3, 1, 2.
2. So that's 2 for you. And you have presence, so that's 3.
7.
+1 per country that is adjacent to an enemy superpower. This is my control, not yours.
Yep.
This is not adjacent to me.
Is it not? You're South Korea. I mean, you're North Korea. I'm South Korea, right?
No, but it's not adjacent to my superpower. It doesn't have a black line.
Oh. That's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah. You control this, but that's adjacent to you.
Yep.
All right, so no additional.
Okay.
I have dominance.
So you go
So
back
I get
to 0.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And
Back and forth.
Then it goes.
And
up
plus
for
1 per battleground. I control 1,
3.
2, 3 battlegrounds. All right.
All right.
That's scored. That is the
boom.
end of my 6. It is your 6.
Let me see. Where is? Okay, I'm not there.
Oh, you know what we've been forgetting?
What?
The headline card.
What's the headline card? Oh, at the beginning of the round.
Yeah.
Oops.
We've missed a couple of headlines. That's okay.
That ain't good.
That's okay.
Okay. Blue on 6.
Yeah.
So,
I was wondering why we each had an extra card in our hand.
Yeah. So I'm going to attempt space now. And
Okay.
I'm using socialist government. Remove U.S. in Western Europe for 3 influence points. Remove from no more than 2 countries, or 2 per country. Total of 3 influence points. So I'll go down in Denmark, Sweden. Oh wait, no more than
No more than 2 in any one
In any
country,
one
but you can
country.
split it over 3, yeah.
Yeah, West Germany.
Okay.
And now I have
You have 3 influence.
Go
You can
for
attempt the
that.
space race. Roll a
Space
1
race.
through 3.
3.
3.
Hey.
And now I may play 2 space race cards per turn.
Yep.
So
Which
what,
space is that?
That is Animals in Space.
Animals in space.
I think I spent a dog to space.
That I think I actually there is stuff to.
So
Yep.
yeah.
You are clobbering me on the
You
space
are allowed
race.
to discard 2 space race cards per turn instead of 1.
So now we get rid of our cards and begin the next round, right?
We keep our cards.
Oh, right. I get China?
I did not play China,
Oh,
so
so
you
it
do
doesn't
not get
trade.
it. It only
Okay.
goes to you if we play it. But now we are entering mid-war.
Mid-war.
So we get the mid-war deck, which is this big, thick, heavy deck here,
Oh.
and that gets shuffled in with
You
this.
see, this might be more interesting from what I've been seeing with this stuff. 'cause-
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we
DEFCON goes up 1, so DEFCON is at 3.
Who's
oh,
that?
before we move DEFCON is at
Plus,
1. So you lose 1 victory point.
I lose.
Yes. Oh no, I lose 1 victory point. Sorry, because you did a coup,
Yeah.
and I did not. So
Now
I have
it
2
goes
victory
to-
points now.
So
Yep.
what is this plus Middle East plus? Oh, thank you for
Yeah.
the bits.
Thank you for the bit, Lobster. Revenge. It's Laika in space.
No coup regiment attempts. All right.
So this goes back to there.
Mm-hmm.
That goes back to the beginning.
Uh-huh.
And we get 1 extra card in our hands now.
Oh, so we go to round 7, right?
Yes.
It's on a butter knife. And I discarded the card that reduces the DEFCON status.
Yeah, and you didn't use it to reduce DEFCON.
I wouldn't have scored points, so there was no point for me. Now we're actually in, I think, the nuclear age, right? More than anything else? 70s, roughly?
Yeah,
Everyone's
we're into the
stuff.
70s.
Yeah. So this is the point where
We're getting closer to
DEFCON's gonna
Cuba.
happen, yeah. All right, so we have to start by playing our card, right?
Right, this time we have to, after
Have a
we've drawn
headline
our
card.
hands.
Headlight, yeah.
So we should have 9 cards in our hand now, I believe. Amanda, can you double check? Way back at the beginning it says how many cards we should have in our hands.
Dun, 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 dun.
8,
Set.
9. You have 2 cards in hand or 1 card? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just not look at these cards until she's had a chance to double check.
No problem.
Eight cards.
Oh, so you get 1 back, I think, then,
It
right?
says shuffle the early war cards, deal each player 8 cards. Because it's set up.
Right, right.
In addition, place the China card face up in front of the USSR player. Players are allowed to examine their cards prior to destroying their
Is
initial
there
influence.
something
bar.
where it says mid-war?
Game sequence. Headline phase. Card play. Operations. No.
Here, let me borrow it for a sec, because I've read through the whole
Yeah, I don't
instruction,
see
you
anything.
haven't. Game sequence, action rounds. Reveal. On turns 4 through 10, players should receive enough cards to bring their total hand size to 9.
Okay, so we're good, right?
Yes, because we're in turn 4.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Amanda.
Ooh.
All right, so now we're going to do the headline. which
All
is
right.
do an action from your hand,
Okay.
And then I'll read you some things.
and you can do a scoring card as an action, but it counts as a 0. So it happens second.
So it is 9:30. Just to
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
We've got maybe half an hour before we've got to wrap up the stream. Ish.
Dang it. What is this? Is that something I actually have to do? Read that?
Yeah, because that happened.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know this game required
Physical assault? Yeah.
What, we have to start punching each other?
No, nothing
No.
that.
This is my headline.
Oh, sorry. Give me 1 second.
What card number was that?
That was number 48.
Okay, I'm gonna find it.
Well, here's the thing. I gotta find out. No, there's no way. Sorry, Andy. Give me one.
That's
second.
okay. That's okay. Like, we've got all sorts of mid-war cards in our hands now. So,
Okay, ready?
3,
Okay.
2, 1, reveal. Mine is a 2.
Mine
yours
is a
is a 3, so yours goes off first.
NORAD.
Oh,
If the
boy.
U.S. controls Canada, the U.S. may add one influence to any country already containing influence at the conclusion of the action round, in which the DEFCON marker moves to the 2 box. This event is canceled by Quagmire 42.
Wow.
So I can
Okay.
add 1 to anywhere?
So this
What
happens
card
every
number
time
is
it moves
NORAD?
to 2.
Okay.
What
So
card
that
number?
remains in effect. NORAD.
What
Card
card?
number 106.
Okay.
okay.
So I start the round, right?
Looking
Well,
for
no, I start the
NORAD,
round.
chat.
That just fires before my thing fires, which could have
I
relevance
know,
if mine
it's
was
like
a scorecard or
9:30,
something
and
like
we
that.
usually aim for 10-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Andy and I have to be back here in the morning.
All right.
That
I
was
have
NORAD.
Yeah.
NORAD, the North American 1958 to The North American Aerospace Defense Command is a joint military organization sponsored by the governments of Canada and the United States. Its mission is to jointly monitor and
You should have a
control the
NORAD thing you
airspace
can put
over
out on
North
the board
America from unfriendly incursion. It was founded initially to protect against the threat of low-flying Soviet bombers attacking from the Arctic region. During the Cold War, the command was famously housed in the Cheyenne Mountain facility depicted in the film War Games. At its height, NORAD commanded
Is there not a
250,000
NORAD thing?
military
There's not a NORAD
personnel.
thing.
The command illustrates the full integration and cooperation of U.S. allies into the U.S. nuclear umbrella and alliance structure.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. So now I don't want things to go to DEFCON 2 because you immediately do something.
I get stuff.
My headline is one small step. If you're behind on the space race track, play this card to move your marker 2 boxes forward,
Oh, man.
gaining the VP value of the second box only.
All
I
right.
get no VP because there's no VP value for having animals in space, but now we both have animals in space.
God, you monster.
All right. One
right.
small step, 1961 to 1969. After years of lagging behind Soviet space exploits, the United States put its full intellectual and economic weight behind the race to the moon. President Kennedy initiated Project Mercury. Ultimately, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration would overcome enormous technological hurdles to place a man on the moon. As Neil Armstrong, the first human to set foot upon the moon's surface, descended from the spacecraft, he uttered the immortal line, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." In doing so, he confirmed an American comeback victory in the space race between the superpowers.
Okay. That's pretty cool. All right.
Hang on.
So, Audrey. Okay, I really like this card. Ooh, wow. So there are cool little scorecards too that score you based on little things. It's awesome. This is, I think, where you score the most points, probably.
Yeah. My impression from reading the manual is that you almost never reach the late war.
Yeah.
Either the world ends or
In beautiful fashion.
somebody manages to win.
Okay. What you got?
So this
man?
tug of war is really intense. I just have to play this as an action to see how this works.
Okay.
So, because I just mentioned it, the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh
Gee.
no, God!
Set
Great.
DEFCON level to 2.
So I get
So you get to do a thing.
What card number is that, Andy? And why has no one played Chernobyl?
It's card 40.
That's a good question.
If the U.S.
Chernobyl
controls
kinsman.
Canada, the U.S. may add 1 influence to any country already containing U.S. influence at the conclusion of any action round in which the DEFCON marker moves to 2.
Okay.
Hey kids, let's learn about the Cuban Missile
Turkey.
Crisis.
1962. The mere mention of this event elicits fears of the nuclear holocaust that almost was. For 14 days in October 1962, the two superpowers seemed destined to clash directly about the Soviet emplacement of medium-range ballistic missiles and intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. To prevent the installation of additional offensive weapons in Cuba, John F. Kennedy declared a naval quarantine around Cuba. Tensions reached a near breaking point when a U-2 flight was shot down over Cuba, and Khrushchev demanded U.S. missiles be removed from Turkey in exchange for Soviet missiles being removed from Cuba. Ultimately, Khrushchev was compelled to settle for a U.S. pledge not to invade Cuba and a private agreement to resolve NATO's missile bases in Turkey.
Okay.
So, what happens when the Cuban Missile Crisis happens here is set get DEFCON to 2, which we just done.
Yes.
Yep, sure did.
Any further coup attempt by your opponent this turn, anywhere on the board, will result in global thermonuclear war. Your opponent will lose the game.
Not good.
Oh.
This event may be canceled at any time if the USSR player removes 2 influence from Cuba, or the US player removes 2 influence from either West Germany or Turkey. So if you remove 2 influence from Turkey,
Okay.
you can cancel the Cuban Missile Crisis. But for now, the Cuban Missile
just wanna
Crisis is in
read
effect until the end
all
of
of this.
this round.
Hang on.
So
You know,
that's
there-
my first action of the entire
There's,
turn.
there's a Dr. Strangelove
it's your
card.
turn.
Yep.
1.
I gotta do this. That's ironic because I have a ton of cards that just say, yeah.
There's a How I Learned to Stop Worrying is a
Nice.
card. As the
Is
reality
that a chip,
of
by the way?
What?
Is there
No.
a chip? Oh.
It's not a. It's not an underline. It's not the rest of the game. It's just the
Okay.
rest of this turn.
As the reality of nuclear holocaust became accepted by the public, fatalism about
Okay,
its
so this does
inevitability
nothing.
also took hold. The landmark black comedy Dr. Strangelove captured this new mood.
I'll play this.
However, such attitudes are hardly unique.
Mid-war.
Similar fatalism
Flower
about
Children.
mankind's
For
ultimate
every war
destiny
card,
can be
you'll get
found
2
throughout
VPs
literature of
from
the
now on.
time. What is this? The flower
Oh, Flower Power.
power.
Yep.
Groovy.
It does nothing if I discard it as a space card.
Oh, are you discarding it as a space card?
Sure.
1965 to
Okay, you have
1970.
4 points. You can move to space. Roll a 1 through 3.
A term reportedly coined by the
5
poet
fail.
Allen Ginsberg,
Oh, well.
flower power came to represent the
Your turn.
nonviolence and peace movements of the 1960s.
We need.
The classical context for the
3
phrase was the
ops,
placement
2
of
ops.
daisies into rifle muzzles, and the anti-war slogan, "Make love, not war." Flower power is also representative of the general ambivalence of the use of military force that resulted from the American experience in Vietnam.
All right.
Yes, the hippies have definitely arrived.
I am going to use Fidel not for his action, but for 2 points and attempt a space race roll.
All right.
So I need a 1 through 3.
You got it.
3.
You
I
get-
move forward.
and you
I
get
get
2
2
points.
victory points.
What does the 1 mean here?
The second person to do it gets 1.
Oh,
But
okay.
because I skipped
You
it, I
skipped
got
it.
none.
That makes sense. Okay, I'm going. Oh, sorry.
Nope, that's all that happens with Man in Space. So I have a Man in Space,
Okay. I'm going to
and
play.
I'm sending him horrible movies.
I was gonna ask. I've sent a man into space.
Movies
Making him watch the worst movies that I can find.
Did you see my
Nuclear
message about what we
subs.
should watch tonight?
No, I didn't.
U.S. coup attempts in battleground countries do not affect the DEF contract for the remainder of the turn. However, it does not affect the Cuban Missile Crisis.
So specifically, it doesn't help you.
Yes, but it's 2 influence, so I'm going to start doing something
I'll give you a
that I've
hint,
been
Andy.
ignoring.
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba,
Okay. Yeah, that's appropriate for what we're doing.
ba, ba,
I don't have any of that funny Europe money.
That is exactly why.
Oh, increasing your influence in Cuba, huh?
Yep.
Too bad I just discarded Fidel.
Oh
Which
no!
removes all U.S. influence in Cuba.
In Cuba.
Oh, you did that after?
I didn't use it for its power.
So you
I used
don't
it
get
just
that.
for the space race.
Okay.
I'm looking up Fidel.
All right, I'm going to. We are. This is round 3 now.
Yep.
You want to move the thing forward?
Sorry. Bam.
Yeah. This is interesting stuff in my hand.
Is it good or bad?
I don't know.
South America is fun.
It's got nothing. You guys haven't made it over there.
Yeah, we really are not working on South America. Except John's got a little influence down there.
Barely anything.
In Central
Where the
America.
heck is
Don't worry
Fidel?
about it. Don't worry about
Where
it.
did he go?
I don't know.
I remember seeing him in here.
He has card number 8, so he's way up at
Oh,
the front.
he's super early. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to play this as an action. South African
There
unrest.
he is.
USSR adds 2 influence in South Africa, or adds 1 influence in South Africa and 2 in NH countries adjacent to South Africa.
Okay.
So I'll put. I can't possibly take over South Africa, so I'll put 1 influence there.
Space. He went to space. We said Fidel Castro is in
Okay.
space. Fantastic.
I'm going to play...
And wait.
Uh,
1 in South Africa and 2 in any countries adjacent.
No.
So I'll put 2 influence
bam.
in. Well, no, I'm going to put 2 influence
Coming
there.
to power
Right.
after deposing the corrupt
I'm gonna play
Batista,
the 8
Castro
and-
disenchanted the U.S. after it became clear he was leading a Marxist revolution. The U.S. tried various schemes
Oh, you
to
decreased
depose or
DEFCON?
assassinate him, culminating in the disastrous Bay of Pigs invasion.
Oh, I see.
Ultimately, Communist Cuba would lend support to Marxist governments in Angola and Ethiopia.
So John is slowly taking over
Nigeria.
the Americas with his influence.
I mean,
2.
All right, move it to turn 4.
that's accurate.
Turn 4. Yep. Turn 4.
I'm going to do a quagmire.
Oh, so that cancels something.
It cancels NORAD.
Yeah.
So you don't get to do stuff if DEFCON drops to 2 again.
Okay.
The Cuban Missile Crisis is still in effect, though. So
So NORAD's out for the game, or is it
No,
just
it's-
the turn?
no, it's out for the game.
Okay.
On the next action round,
That's
the U.S.
probably why
player
it's
must discard an operations card worth 2 or more and roll a 1 to 4 to cancel this event. Repeat each U.S. player action round until successful or no appropriate cards remain. So in order to cancel this event and return to having NORAD,
Oh. So I do that now?
well, I'm just going to stick this over NORAD. Now it's your turn. So on
okay.
your
So-
next action round,
Yeah, this.
you must discard an operations card worth 2 and roll a 1 to 4. Well, that
Quagmire.
actually worked in your favor, darn it.
Yeah.
You got rid of one of my cards.
3. Oh, 1
Quagmire.
to 4.
1 to 4.
1964
So it's canceled.
to 1975.
God.
It is hard to put a precise date on when the U.S. involvement in Vietnam ceased to be support for an anti-communist counterinsurgency and became instead an inextricable quagmire. However,
That
the
didn't help
congressional
me much.
passage of the Gulf of
Gonna
Tonkin
use
resolution
this
seems
and
like
use it for
as
its
good a point as any.
influence for 3.
Okay.
With hindsight, it is clear that the United States confused the very nature of the conflict that they were fighting.
Bam.
Vietnam was fundamentally a war of national liberation,
Bam.
a struggle that had begun centuries before
feeling
against
I know
Chinese
what's going
dominance,
on there.
then French, then Japanese, and finally the United States. While the American government may have never realized that they had fallen into the role of foreign
Turn 5?
oppressor,
Sorry.
that fact did not diminish Vietnamese resistance. Like most colonial wars, it came down to a calculus of cost. U.S. interests were simply not worth the costs in national morale, military manpower, and economic resources that Vietnam was consuming. But humbling a superpower is a long process, and so it was in Vietnam.
I'm going to call a coup
Where?
in Colombia.
Okay.
I'm using one of your cards to do it. So add
So-
1 U.S. influence in each of 4 different African or Southeast Asian countries. So you may add 1 influence in
Anywhere I want.
Philippines. Well, no, I choose.
Oh, right.
So 1 in Malaysia,
Here you go.
1 in No, Australia is not Southeast Asian. Darn it.
Isn't it?
No, it's
I
just
already
Asian.
control it though,
Yeah.
so there's no.
Well, that's my point. That's why I would want to increase its influence because
Give me
it gets you nothing.
Indonesia. Give
Each
me
of 4 different
Tanzania.
African or Southeast Asian. So I'll
Zimbabwe.
give you 1 in Somalia,
Okay.
1 in the Ivory Coast,
Okay.
and
Nigeria, Cambodia, anywhere really.
oh, I don't have control of Malaysia right now.
Oh no. Do you have anything?
1 in Tunisia, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. So I have 2 influence points, and I'm calling a coup in Colombia.
All right.
So
This goes up.
Colombia, no,
Oh no.
it's not a battleground. So
No. Colombia. Oh, I thought you said Cuba.
no,
Nope.
Colombia.
Okay.
So I get 2 war points, bop, bop,
Okay.
and roll my die against a 2. 5, 6, 7. So you lose, or 7 minus 2 is 5.
Yep.
Yes.
So you got a 5 in there.
Well, I get 4 because it eliminates 1 of yours, and I get 4 influence.
All right.
All right.
My turn.
Yep, your turn.
Going to play one of these few cards. One, two, three.
Damn.
Sorry, I'm just calculating something.
Yeah, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Doing maths in your head. Definitely a thing that has to happen. I'm not really clear on whether NORAD comes back into being after the Quagmire or not. I feel like it probably
think
does.
It does. This is worthless for now, so I'm just going to put it in. 1 influence. Ba, 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 ba.
Okay, that's your 1 influence.
Mhm.
All right. I'm going to use China.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to put the dudes.
I'm going to put... I get 4.
Okay.
So I'm going to put 2 in Afghanistan and 2 in... Is that Uruguay?
Yeah, Uruguay.
Yeah, Uruguay.
2 and 2.
Okay. There should be round 7, right?
That was the start
You
of
said
round 6.
Afghanistan. You meant Argentina.
I meant Argentina, sorry.
Okay, ready? The Alliance's progress. The U.S. gets 1 victory point for each battleground they control in South America and Cuba. So I get 3 victory points.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, that's removed?
Yep. Your turn.
This is the beginning of turn 7? No.
No, this is that should have been turn 7, shouldn't it?
No.
Oh, I lost a card, right?
You lost a card.
Yeah, yeah. So now it's 7.
Why do
That
I
was
have an
6.
extra card? That can't be right.
Did you do the math?
I think this is
before?
the beginning of 6.
Wait. Hold on.
Me.
Played NATO. What did I play? Ditch that. I ditched one to get rid of your thing, right? I guess. Oh, because you have this.
Oh, that's right. I used China.
Used
That's
China.
why I have an extra. So it is
So it's
turn 7.
7.
Yeah. So I have to do this. Oh well. Africa scoring. Let's score Africa. So I control 1, 2. No, that's not Africa. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in Africa. You control 1.
Yep. So I have presence, so I get 3. Or what is it in Africa? 1. So 0.
So you get 1.
Yep. So move that. And then you get the 5 dominance.
Yeah, I do not have control. So I get 5. And then +1 for each battleground. 1, 2.
Yep. So 7.
All right.
All right.
Had to do it. And now you have to do.
Ditch. All right. What time is it currently?
It is 9:50.
I'm going to start a coup in
9:52.
Argentina and just lose the game.
All right.
Just a call because we're getting pretty late tonight.
All right. So that was not as complex as I
No,
had
not
been
really.
led to believe. Like, I had been told that this was a terrifyingly complex game, and
Well-
yes, it has a lot of like history and
parts.
stuff
I
involved.
feel like the strategy of it is the complex portion of it.
yeah,
'cause
like
Because-
knowing how to play is different from knowing how to play
well. Yeah, I think being able to sort of strategize where you're going to go and what your strategy is as the United States versus the USSR, and being able
John,
to
here's
sort
a whole
of
bunch of bags, so let's separate stuff out.
Okay.
think about your actions ahead, and also you're playing with a known set of events.
Yeah.
So
that's the
if
China
you
card.
know not only what has happened in the past, but what the influences are and what areas those things will touch, like that the Cuban Missile Crisis is not only going to touch Cuba, but Turkey
We
as
never
well.
found out what these nukes are for. I
I
assume they're
think
late
for
war
this,
things.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, the Chinese Civil War? Maybe.
So you definitely have
Let's
the
put all of these guys
possibility
in
of a
one
lot
bag,
more
maybe?
strategy
I don't know.
in a way that I don't think
Here
the
are
first
your
time you play the
influence.
game you're going to get into, if that makes sense.
To me, I think the game is fun, but I feel like it's a lot of randomization at the very beginning because you have no idea what you're going to draw, and it can be a lot of
Sync
stuff
isn't?
to
What
add
do
to
you mean
your
by that?
ally stuff. You know what I mean,
Lobster
or your opponent. So I find it very interesting through that idea.
Next week, we are going to play Memoir 44.
Boom.
So for July, we are focusing on dice-based games
Yep.
or dice-heavy games.
And we're going to start off with Memoir 44. We're going to
Fight some Nazis.
We felt it was a patriotic thing to do for July 4th.
Fight
Yes.
Nazis.
Oh,
That's our
thank you
Yay!
again.
And there's some bits.
We already audio and video. Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, is the sync off still?
Audio and
Darn it.
video. We're having a bit of a problem
with audio and video sync, and we have to introduce a delay in
Yeah,
order
and I
to
must have
sync them up.
miscalculated the delay.
Yeah. Or it's gone off in the time that we've been streaming.
Oh,
I
maybe.
don't think
Yeah.
it should do that, but yeah, it's
interesting.
an issue. We'll work
Yeah.
on it. It's not as
try to
bad
fix
for
it.
this stream as it was for the role-playing stream. It was really awful for that.
Yeah.
Other things.
Memoir 44 is a war-based game. May I have Memoir
Please go
44?
on ahead.
We did want to do one other thing on stream today.
We did.
Yeah. So Memoir 44 is from the opening minutes of D-Day to the liberation of Paris and beyond. Memoir 44 airdrops you into the key battles that turned the tide in Western Europe. Omaha Beach, Pegasus Bridge. You'll command your troops in battlefields that defined history in the 20th century. Memoir 44 is a unique historical game where players face off in over a dozen World War II battles on an oversized hex board game. Each battle scenario mimics the historical terrain, troop placements, and objectives of each army.
We get tanked, people.
So apparently there's timely dice rolling. So yeah, we're gonna play that.
This is one of the best teach to play
Yeah.
games I've ever played. Like, it's so easy to teach people how to do this one. So I felt it was fun because it also seems like the antithesis to Memoir, because everyone says this is the easiest game to play, but the in-depth strategy is there in a big way, I find, with this one.
Nice.
And everyone gets their own tanks and soldiers and stuff.
Gotta love that.
And yeah, one player plays the Germans and one player plays the British. And
I will not.
So it's
be
another
playing.
two-player game?
it is a two-player game.
Okay.
There is modes, I believe, that you can get to make it up to 8 players.
I'm gonna be real honest.
John, I have no idea where...
If the Nazis win in that game, I will find a way to flip this table right off the balcony.
It is complicated, but it's all based on like real-life war scenarios.
I
and
will
stuff.
be honest. I do not want the Nazis to win. Like flat out, if the Nazis win, I will.
Is thermonuclear war an option?
I
No,
will
this is
turn
before
this
that
stream
happened.
around.
What's also cool is it also has cards. So there's also card mechanics in it.
Interesting.
Vehemently anti-Nazi.
Yeah. All right. And,
John, I need bags for the decks.
there you go. Baggies.
I'm going to separate. The
Russians
late war
win?
is still...
Yeah, thanks.
This
really wanna
is...
think about
I don't
that
know
either.
where that came from.
Oh,
It should go in the
second-
special...
Second card played. That's weird. That's only for...
Oh, that must be for the space race.
Oh, Space Race.
Because you can play a second card. You had the
Right,
ability
right.
because you had the satellite to play the
Makes
space
sense.
race twice.
All right, and the other thing we wanted to show off on stream real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to switch to the overhead camera again so
Okay.
that John can show off the game that he purchased today because this is so cool looking.
And I guess we're going to do a quick unbox if we can.
Sure, if you want.
Okay. Oh, are we overhead?
Yep. There it is.
I got a copy of Starship Samurai.
Yeah.
It looks fascinating.
If you would like a quick lore read, there is a small bit of lore on the back.
All right. Maintain honor, no matter the cost. Galactic Emperor Hoshi has died, and the tenuous peace she forged among the interstellar clans of the Lotus Galaxy has collapsed. In the wake of this chaos, you, the leader of a powerful and influential clan, must bring honor to your people and claim the galactic throne. Launch massive fleets to defeat your enemies and seize key locations. Forge alliances with lesser clans so that they might back your claim to the throne. Devastate the plans of your foes with power-shifting action cards. Deploy the most fearsome weapons the galaxy has ever known, the terrifying samurai mechs. I want to paint these.
Yeah.
They look so good.
All right, so we're going to do a quick
We're gonna open it
unwrap
up.
and unbox. We've done this before, right?
Unboxing on the stream? I don't know if we have.
Okay,
Maybe we
first
did
time
one.
for everything.
Yeah.
Subtext.
So very, very early in the stream, we did an unboxing of...
Pan Labyrinth.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, Labyrinth, yeah.
Katanas in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. John bought it. So we're going to open it.
What's nice is with my purchase, I don't know if you want to do zoom cam with this.
Oh, sure.
There are some,
We got some
promo pieces that came with this version, which is awesome.
And Twilight Struggle.
There you go.
So yeah, we got these
I got a
nifty
bite.
little duders, which are all just special promo pieces that have to do with the
The game.
The different-
So,
different
from what I
clans
understand,
or
it's an
different,
area control game
classes or something.
with different clans.
Yeah, promo pieces. Look at them.
And they're plastic and they're
Plastic.
chunky.
Yeah, they're nice. How much was it?
$60 for 44 minis.
Yep.
That is a bargain price, and I'm
Yeah,
hoping the
that's a
quality
lot of
shows
plastic.
through. So hold up, I gotta figure out what am I doing wrong here.
No.
This ain't going well.
Can't
there we
open
go.
it?
Got it. Got it. There we go. You gotta unzip it like a glove. Oh yeah. I always love the feel of a good of Plaid Hat Games' boxes. They always feel like nice.
So put it on camera for them. Yeah, it is. It's
Expensive for you
upside down.
currently,
Yeah.
yeah.
There we go.
I mean, it's not a cheap game. For what you're getting, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a cheap game.
We were joking earlier that this was like, oh, you could just get this for D&D stuff. All right. Oh, there's lore around the box.
Oh, it's got
Yeah,
the clans
there
around the
is.
outside. Show the camera.
Oh, they're so good.
Guys,
be careful.
there's the clans listed around the outside.
Yeah,
that's
Bunch
fun.
of different.
I'll
clans.
read those out.
All right. So we got the rule book. We got the scoreboard, I assume, and we have planets. And this is the thing that's cool. I think you're dominating planets.
We're watching.
Right here are the minis.
Those are
Oh my
those
God.
are not small.
These are
They're
not
bigatures. Oh, switching to
Look
zoom
at
cam.
this stuff. Look at that bow.
Look at that sword and that
Oh,
cape.
my.
Yeah, Amanda, you definitely want to paint some of these. Look at that.
They seem sturdy. They're not
man.
bent at all.
Yeah, these are
That
heavy
is
duty.
gorgeous.
There's some heft to these.
Oh, let's look at these. Look at these. We got major ships.
John, seriously, do you want me to paint these?
I
Look,
do.
look at this guy. Oh,
I
he's
am
got that
100% into this.
Ganondorf
So, yes.
mane going on.
Okay,
You got to
so
do that in
DD
red,
Dell.
Amanda.
The purple clan is the Horizon clan. When the first Voyagers journeyed across the void to the Lotus Galaxy,
ships.
they brought with them many traditions and ideologies that
out.
no longer hold much influence over people today. However, these
Bum,
old ways have
bum,
stayed
bum, bum,
alive in the Horizon clan.
Bum,
They have
bum,
become
bum,
masters
bum,
of ancient traditions.
bum,
It is within
bum,
Horizon
bum,
clan
bum,
that the
bum,
samurai
bum,
were reborn, and in an alliance with Gamma clan, used their strength and discipline to help bring unity back
This
to
is
the
the
Lotus
coolest
Galaxy.
one. Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want me to read the rest of the clans?
Give it a shot.
Sure.
Pulsar clan.
Do you want to pass me some more figs so I can
The
show them
ruling
off?
class of the Pulsar clan can trace their heritage all the way back to the first galactic shogun. The people of Pulsar are militant and disciplined, often living harsh lives as much of their society's resources are funneled into their military and their impressive arsenal of weaponry.
Okay.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons. Aurora clan. Once devout members of Horizon
This guy.
clan,
What
the
is this
founders-
weapon?
It's a bowcaster,
badass
Andy.
flow, man.
Yeah.
The founders of Aurora clan seceded from Horizon due to ideological disagreements and laid claim to their own sector of the Lotus Galaxy. Despite the size of its territory, much about Aurora's inner workings are unknown to the rest of the galaxy. Rumors abound, however, the most popular of which is that Aurora is in league with the Oni, dark and mysterious creatures indigenous to the
Japanese.
Lotus Galaxy.
Very cool, very Japanese. I'm very much on board. I'm excited.
Rift Clan. After the first settlements took hold in the Lotus Galaxy, a contingent of colonists set out for an unexplored region of the galaxy. After communications with the Voyagers were lost, they were assumed dead. Millennia later, the descendants of those Voyagers were rediscovered. Those descendants now make up the Rift Clan. Though Rift Clan has become a significant power in the Lotus Galaxy, they are still viewed as outsiders by many of the clans.
So, John, how many players is this thing?
1 to 4.
Gamma
2 to 4.
clan.
2 to 4.
2 to 4.
Okay, here's cool. Each one has their own color scheme set.
Yep, they
that's
definitely do.
Awesome.
Unlike most of the Lotus clans, Gamma Clan has done away with hereditary rule and instead elects its leaders based on intelligence and strength.
That's a good way to do it.
Gamma's ultimate goal as a society is to propel the human race beyond its current limitations. As such, much of Gamma's resources are spent educating and cybernetically enhancing their populace. Luna Clan. Luna Clan is infamous for their skill in subterfuge and spycraft. Through it, they have gained great political power. Representatives of the other clans always tread cautiously in any dealings with Luna Clan, as the histories are full of stories of nobles found dead within the walls of their heavily guarded
I think
fortresses.
this one is a damaged mini.
Their
no.
throats laid open
Yeah,
by a
there's no,
Luna
missing
ninja's
sword.
blade.
Ooh, that ain't
Oh,
good.
oh well.
May I see?
Yeah,
Is
his
there-
hand is missing.
Is there?
No, there's nothing in
No,
there.
it just looks. You can feel like it's
It's gone.
snapped.
Should I let them
I would
know
say, yeah,
downstairs?
contact Plaid Hat Games and let folks downstairs know, but also contact Plaid Hat.
Yeah.
Ion Clan. Ion Clan are the descendants of merchants that took to exploring the darkest and deepest parts of the galaxy in search of wealth. Despite its humble beginnings, Ion has
Oh, you
flourished.
found it?
Yeah. So this came out
So it could be
before it
glued.
was on the box, though. This wasn't like dropped in the thing, so that ain't good. So I think this was broken in the thing.
In the box, yeah.
Before we opened it.
No.
So yeah, I'll just let them know downstairs. Maybe they can do and let.
I mean, we can make surgery. We could glue it back together.
possibly.
Unfortunately, the hand is also broken off with it, so it's not just a beam sword that's inactive.
Yeah.
It's a whole hand.
Okay.
We'll see if glue can
Fix
make
it.
that
Rectify
better.
it.
Yeah.
Ion Clan are descendants of merchants that took to exploring the darkest and deepest parts of the galaxy in search of wealth. Despite its humble beginnings, Ion has flourished and has bought its way into great power. Ion Clan is operated as a business and is shrewdly managed by a group of its leading shareholders. Void Clan. The Void Clan holds a territory on the very outskirts of the Lotus Galaxy, where the planets are spaced far apart, and even at the height of its power, the galactic government never held much sway. The Void Clan is an alliance of outworlds made rich through piracy and the plundering of the rest of the galaxy. And
Nice.
Comet Clan. Much of Comet Clan's territory is composed of uninhabitable planets. Despite this, Comet thrives. They do so by utilizing a technology they've developed that allows them to extract and store energy from their stars. They use this energy to fuel colonies built on the backs of asteroids, unreliant on a home star. While Comet trades their valuable energy stores with other clans, they are very protective of the technology that produces them and guard their territory fiercely against outsiders.
All right.
We are
Last-
100% going
last
to end
side.
up with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Soul Clan. Magnetize it. Rocket sword hand, says DG Dell. Soul Clan. Nestled in the center of the galaxy, Soul Clan controls the Lotus Galaxy's largest collection of galactic and intergalactic travel outposts. Soul has long strived to maintain peaceful relations with most of the Lotus's leading clans and often hosts peaceful summits for their leaders to discuss diplomacy. Nova Clan. Nova Clan is often considered the most noble family in the Lotus Galaxy. This is largely due to their dedication to honor and their fair treatment of their people. It is with elegance and sophistication that they carry themselves through conflict. Terra Clan. Terra Clan is descended from the original settlers of the Lotus Galaxy. It used to be that Terra was far and away the most powerful clan in the galaxy, but they have long since been eclipsed by many of the other clans. However, Terra still manages to hold on to great influence in the galaxy, for its leaders carry with them a reverential status, being that they continue to be clones of some of the most popular of the galaxy's founders.
Oh, wow. So, yeah.
So much flavor!
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, reattaching it shouldn't be super hard, but it's a really tiny break point.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Like,
I'll-
it is a really tiny break point.
I'll let them know downstairs. And
I mean,
try to contact
if we
the
drill and pin it, it should be fine.
Yeah.
We'll just have to.
surgery.
It's fixable.
It's doable. It's just going to be a matter of being really careful about
don't
it.
know the exact way it's supposed to be attached.
You can see where the break is. It's supposed to be like this.
Okay. But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to play this sometime.
Thank you, everybody,
I
so
Yes.
much for joining us
really want
to
to
paint these figures.
paint these.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, this guy, look at that back.
Oh, his name is Shingen. Everyone has a name. Mori Shingen Hideyoshi, Oda Tamitomo, Mato Tada, Mato Tada, Masamune, and Gozen.
Goes in.
And Gozen, unfortunately, has been
They're good
disarmed
about
currently.
replacing damaged pieces.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
they
Okay,
usually
then
are.
let's
We may just
contact
go that
Black
way.
Hat
Yeah.
and yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
you
We
for
got to
joining
play
us.
Twilight Struggle. It was not anywhere near the nightmare that I had been warned it might be.
Which was good.
I feel like it would be fun to play a full game and see how it actually works out. But we did run out of time,
Yeah.
and the Cuban Missile Crisis ended the world. No surprise there.
Yeah, shock.
That was. I'm so glad I finally got
These
to
are
play this, because this has been one of those games that's been on my radar.
The name
for
of this game is
years.
Starship Samurai.
Yes. It is, I believe, an area control style basis game. Not many reviews are out of it as of yet because it literally came out today.
Yeah, just came out
So,
today.
Yeah, we're excited. And I got hooked as soon as I saw Gundam Samurai. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Totally into it.
All right.
All right, guys.
So next week,
Oh,
Thank you.
for the bits.
Thanks,
Thank you
Lobster
so
of
much.
Revenge.
next
We should
week,
have a theme
Memoir
song that we
44.
sing. I'm not singing.
But we should have a theme song.
should get a theme
use
song.
the
Just
music from
no.
the. Okay.
No, we shouldn't.
Okay.
That music sounds like someone has died.
Not the
Alright.
closing music. Anyways.
All right.
we're gonna call it a night.
Yeah.
We're gonna go get some sleep in our very warm, unair-conditioned apartment.
Oh, don't say that.
And
Waste. No, I'm not
next
singing
week
closing
we'll be
time.
back for
you know-
Memory 44.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everyone.
Don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.
All right.